TLB Radio.
Broadcasting from the Star City of the South in Roanoke, Virginia, you are listening live to the Tate LaBianca radio program. Good evening, TLBers. We are live once again. It's hard to believe, back to bring you the radio program which pursues the oddities, the interests, and the truth of the Tate LaBianca murders. And good to be back. Good to see everybody here tonight on a Saturday night. Oh, my God. What is going on with that? Well, it's just one of those nights we decided, as I said back the last program we did, I'm not coming back until I got something to say. And I guess this is what I got, something to say tonight. So Saturday night is all right. So we're back to say it. And I didn't come alone. I've got some people with me. One of those, of course, our guest, John Michael Jones from the recent docuseries Making Manson. He's going to give us a little insight to that. I can't wait to get into discussion with that. And oh my God, they're going to hate me for this one, but it is what it is, people. Welcoming back my favorite co-host as always, Tawna Laufenberg. How are you?
I'm going to get some hate too, you know.
Oh, they're gonna hate you, girl, for a while. That's right. You better be.
I can take it.
They're gonna hate you for a little bit, man. But look, it's like this, people. I mean, everything went down the way it went down, and all that shit was real. And there's still a little bit of, we can
get into that later. We got some bigger things to talk about at first,
right?
Right?
But at the end of the day, there's nobody better than Tawna Laufenberg at what she does. And I don't know what to say. I just we got to have her in our camp or else. That's the way it goes. And we're going to get around some things and pass some things. And we've come a long way since that last program. I think it's fair to say. So we're back in the saddle again to do it again, as they say.
At least one time.
Yes, at least for this one time.
One time.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Don't let's not get it too far ahead. But nonetheless, we've got more important things to talk about than our reconciliation tonight. And one of those is, of course, this documentary series that's come out, Making Manson, featuring John Michael Jones and the phone calls that John Michael has over the years collected through his friendship with Charles Manson. And boy, John Michael, thank you for coming on, first of all, and joining us here tonight. I know a lot of people have been reaching out to you since this docuseries, and I'm just thank you. I'm really honored and grateful that you have chosen us to open things up with, so to speak. Thank you.
No, brother, you've always been fair to me, and I'm glad that this is probably going to be the first and only interview, because I've turned down so many.
I know
shows aired, but NBC even went and hired this PR guy that I had to work with to learn how to answer their questions properly.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
Oh yeah, once I read the answer, not only the questions, but answers, but I had to answer it their way. So anyway, I just decided it's best.
What do you mean you had to answer it their way?
Well, they would give me a series of questions, and I had to,
so they would give you questions they presume you're going to be asked.
Yep. And then they gave me the answers that they would like, the way that they would like me to answer it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I've learned, bro, since this all started, since Charlie passed away, especially, is how crooked and corrupt, all the way down to the fucking media that we depend on for news. It's like, what in our history is even real anymore? Like, it makes me throw into question anything I've ever read, or I've ever thought or known is a fucking lie, is doctored, it's like, why would NBC care how I answered it? Shouldn't I answer it the way I want to answer it?
No, John, that just tells you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut there, Tawna, but that just tells you, in my opinion, that there is a narrative that these people want to push, these networks. I'm not saying Billy Mintz in particular, but I'm saying
Billy straight up.
Right. Yeah. But the networks themselves, you understand, there's a certain narrative I believe they want to push, and therefore they've got you. Hey, if you're asked this question, you reply this way.
Yeah. And here they would actually send, like, I'll give you an example. What really made me back out is I would always have to refer to the victims as Charlie's victims. Like, and I didn't like that. It just made me feel awkward, and I just said, "Hey, look, I don't mind answering it this way, but I'm not going to ever, the words Manson's victims are never going to leave my mouth." And they were like, "Well, I mean, that's what they were." No, that's not what they were. I mean, what show did you just fucking watch? I mean, hello, like, have you not learned anything from me in the last fucking year and a half that we've been working together? But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you're right. They control the narrative. They control whatever the fuck they want you to see is what you'll see. Billy, I attribute with this film, and he, you know, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but from what I heard it wasn't easy to get the film to be done this way. Originally, they wanted to feed the narrative. It was Billy that stood his ground and said,
Okay.
"No, look, you know, this has been told a million times. You know, we have an opportunity here to show the world how everything we've ever known about this case may not be true." You know, so it's like, thank God for that, because at the end of the day, like, the image that's been perpetuated over the years and all that shit is whatever it is it is. But it comes a time in life where if there's, like I've always said, and I've said it on your show a million times, if there's a 1% chance that a man was wrongfully convicted and that a fucking district attorney was as corrupt as he could fucking be and broke laws and did things unethically to convict this man, 1%, doesn't that deserve to be explored?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Doesn't that deserve a little bit of fucking attention? Why has this been so afraid to be covered? Why is this such a touchy subject? Because it's fucking true.
Yeah. And it goes through everything, through the police, the people that investigated it, that, like, everybody is like that about it. The networks, they don't want to try to you know, do the right thing with it. Usually, it's everything. I mean, this is the impact that the district attorney had with this lie that he put forth, and, you know, won that conviction on.
Yeah, and you know, I was stunned when Ivor Davis admitted on camera.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. Yeah,
no. Admitted on camera that he believes Bugliosi took the whole helter skelter theory straight from his book.
Yeah,
he admitted that in our film, dude.
I think it's obvious.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Now, I have something to say about that. Is in Ivor Davis's second book, he says that Stovitz, he had a meeting with Stovitz, and Stovitz is the one that told him that Bug took it right from his book. So that's pretty credible. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that this fucking district attorney, Vince Bugliosi, was so bad, and it wasn't just one little thing he did or one main thing he did. There were so many things outside the scope of what he was allowed to do, and the misconduct, in my opinion. And I mean, take the Terry Melcher thing alone. You know, you've got Terry Melcher lying on the stand about how many times he had met Manson or had been to the ranch. And the district attorney knows this. He knows Melcher is lying. That in itself is wrong. Okay. That's called, what is that called, Laufenberg?
Well, you do know that it doesn't match up his grand jury testimony and then his trial testimony. They don't match.
Okay, I that's even worse. But just the fact that an attorney, that a prosecutor is allowing a witness to lie, to knowingly lie.
Suborning perjury. Suborning perjury.
Thank you. I knew you would know. So there's an actual term for that, and that's just an example. I mean, there's so many through this trial that we can point to, and that's what I'm talking about. The impact that this district attorney has had over the years of this lie is, I don't know, it's just going to be hard to beat. And that's why I'm glad.
After witness after witness after witness. I mean, it's everybody.
So, John, looking back at this, man, I mean, obviously, when you're recording these phone calls through the years, you're not expecting this to go this, you know, you're not looking down the road going, hey, you know what?
Oh, no way, man. So you want to know the motive, honestly? And I'll be straight up, man. In the beginning, I didn't even think to record them. It wasn't until like almost 2 years into our relationship, he asked me, "Are you recording these calls?" I said, "No." And he's like, "Man, you really are fucking dumb. So you haven't been recording these calls?" I said, "No, man. Like, the fuck?" Like, in my head, I'm like, "You conceited fuck. Like, why would I record our phone
No,
calls, you
I bet.
wacko?"
I bet you didn't
But
even think you didn't see anything in
you
it. So
know,
what? Right.
then he said, so he's like, "Man, stop recording these calls." And I gave it some thought. You know what I'm saying? So after thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? One day I'm gonna, I'm no dummy. I know that he's gonna be gone. I'm gonna want something to remember. Like, I want to be able to look back on this part of my life, and who knows what I would capture. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
For me, it was, I recorded when I could, and then it, I didn't know how to. First, I had to learn, like, what
Yeah.
machine do I use.
Right.
I'm old school, bro. I'm from the day of fucking, remember the old cassette recorded voicemails you used to leave? So I was assuming you had to walk around with a tape recorder. I didn't realize we're in the digital age, and it was as simple as it
Yeah.
was. And
Yeah.
so what happened was, so for years I started recording our calls, and back then I had my own construction company, well, more maintenance and repairs, but I had a commercial accounts where I plowed during the off season. I would plow,
Yeah.
and me and my girl were out in the middle of one of the worst storms we ever got, and I was plowing and shoveling and plowing, and I fucking lost my tape recorder.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm like, motherfucker. And bro, there was like 4 years worth of calls on this thing.
Yeah.
So I waited for the snow to melt and went back and found the tape recorder, but it's and I still got it, but it's destroyed. It's completely waterlogged, and just I've brought it to several different places, and I was willing to pay top dollar to recover. They said it's done. There's no recovering it. So I learned not to leave the house with my tape recorder. So the calls that I do have are just a fraction of. So I have like 200 hours of recorded phone
Wow.
calls over the years. So the thing, that's probably a quarter of the calls, because sometimes I would be out at my sister's house, or
Yeah.
I'd be out shoveling to snowing, shoveling or plowing snow, or
Yep.
I'd be working up on a roof, and I never had my recorder with me. The only times I recorded our calls is if I was at home or I knew I wasn't working. And let's say if I was at my sister's house, because I used to always go over there and watch movies and shit, I would
Right.
bring my recorder. And anyone that's listening to this that knows me has probably heard me say, "Oh fuck, Charlie's calling. I'll be right back. Pause this." And then one going, "Oh, what the fuck? We're in the middle of a movie." But I tried to never miss his calls, because for me at this time, I felt almost like obligated, because I was a way for him to vent. I was an ear. For me, it was like, I was his fucking friend, man. And I just tried to be there for him as much as I could, because, ever since I got to know him, and I'm talking the man underneath the mask, I just saw a lonely person, man. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Yeah.
And I think me being that one fucking outlet where I wasn't pounding him questions about the murders, or I didn't want to know, like, how many fucking autographs he could send me that week. I wasn't one of those friends. I was just a guy that, he enjoyed listening to stories about me and my son, or just, even little things like the fucking weather.
Yeah.
I could tell he was just looking for a little bit of the outside world.
Yep. So
And that's what I was for him, is a fucking friend.
How did it come to be, John? I know you've told this before in past appearances here, because we've had John a few times, but for those that may have missed or haven't, or this is their first time checking this out, how did this come to be? How did this come about that you would even, be discovered to have those tapes, to have those phone calls by Billy Manson thing together?
Yeah.
How did that come to be?
I always get these calls, Hi, we're from fucking Suck Me Off Productions, and
Yeah.
we would like to, our research
Yeah.
leads us to believe, that we're looking for inside, friends that were close to Manson, and
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
research leads us to you. Would you be interested? Click.
They get those all the time. Yeah. You
Oh
get
my
those
God, bro!
all the
And
time. Yeah.
sometimes they'll message me through Facebook. I don't know how they find my number, but I've had the
Uh-huh.
same number for fucking 28 years, so it can't be too hard.
Yeah.
So, but I tell you what, bro, they've even gone to my sister. Like I'll hang up on them, and they'll
Yeah.
go to my sister. She has a different last name than me. She's married, but I don't know how they find out she's my sister. But probably who knows? But they've gone to her to get to me. But with renowned films, it was this British accent guy calls me, and that kind of threw me because usually they're all from America, but these people are from Britain, and I says, "Oh, what can I do for you?" Oh, we were interested in, if you had anything Manson related that's never been heard or released before. I says, "Well, what does that mean? Like, what are you looking for? Like art, letters, what?" They're like anything, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not interested." Click, and this went on for 3 or 4 months. They just kept calling. They wouldn't let up. And
Uh-huh.
finally, I just told the guy, "Look, I'm not interested, man. I appreciate your time. I'm not interested." And then they would talk me in, come on, man. You know what? We want to, tell the story, the real truth, like
Yeah.
like they always do. So I was like, "Look, I'll think about it. Just to get him off the phone, I'll think about it." Click,
Uh-huh.
hang up. So a guy that I met through Jason Freeman,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say his name, but
Okay.
he calls me and he's like, "Hey, man, we're shooting the shit." And he's like, "Hey, did you get a phone call from a guy named Robert so and so?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, I know him, man. He's a good guy." I was like, "Oh man." He's like, "Could you just do me a favor and hear him out? Just hear him out. Just, you never know, man. Just listen to him. Maybe it's something you'll be interested in." And I'm like, "Nah, bro. I'm not. Look." And I just told him no. And he's like,
Yeah.
JJ, can you do it for me as a favor for me?
Okay.
Just hear him out." So I said, "All right, I will." So I said, "Tell him to call me." And sure enough, the guy calls me. The next day he calls me. And I talked to this guy, Robert. And I ended up really liking this guy. I don't know. There's something about him. I just clicked, even though he's got a weird British accent. Something about him just, we clicked. So I said to him, "Robert, what exactly are you looking for?" And he's like, "John, anything. Like, what do you have? Because our research tells us that you were close to him. And if anyone would have anything, it's you." I says, "Well, I got some phone calls." And he's like, "Well, how many?" I go, "Oh, fuck, I don't know, 20 years worth." He's like, Whoa, what?"
Wow.
He's like,
Okay.
"Wait a minute. What do you have?" I said, "I got phone calls." He's like, "Well, how many? How many? If you had to guess." I go, "Brother, I couldn't tell you. Hundreds." And he goes, "Hundreds?" I said, "Yeah, like 20 years worth. Why?" He said,
Wow.
"John, we would really be interested." I said, "Yeah, sure you would." I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
"It ain't happening, brother." I go, "It ain't happening." And I put it this way: for about 6 to 8 months, we went back and forth.
So you're totally against this at the
I'm
beginning.
against it. I don't trust them. I don't
Yeah.
want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
They offered me
Yeah.
100,000. I said, "I don't
Right.
give a fuck. I don't want the money.
Right.
I don't
Right.
care if you offer me $1 million. This ain't about money for me." I said, "Let me explain something. This is the most important thing to me. Okay, if I ever agreed to do this, I'm telling you now, it's not going to be easy because I've been fucked over so many times by you fuckers in the media. Oh no, we're different. Here's our website. Go look." And as I'm talking to him, I looked up their website. As I'm talking to him, I'm looking up, and
Yeah.
there was one paragraph that they have on their main page is young upcoming journalists looking to disrupt traditional media. Ooh,
Okay.
that hit me. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I'm like, "All right, so let me ask you something, Robert." Now, as I'm talking, I'm like, "So what are you looking to do?" He's like, "John, what we would like is to know exactly how many calls you have, how many hours, and not, in a nutshell, what they're about." I go, "Brother, they're going to be, oh my God, it's 20 years worth." And he's like, "Well, could you listen to them?" I said, "No, how do you listen to 20 years worth of phone calls, man?" And he's like, "John, you need to. we need to know what's on these tapes. I said, okay. I said, I'll tell you what. Let me pull the calls out of my fucking safe and where I got them stored, and I'll listen to them.
Yeah, right.
Now you got to remember, these are all digital. They're just digital tape recorders. They're not tapes. They're not like, cassette tapes, like the documentary showed them putting cassettes. That's all that's all props.
Okay.
So anyway, so I just pull out my tape recorders, put some fresh batteries in it. So what I did was I uploaded every single recorder I had onto my computer. And then from my computer, I put it all onto my phone because I have a large 1 terabyte memory on my phone.
Okay.
So from the moment I woke up until the moment I went to bed, which we're talking on the weekdays because I get my son to school, it's like I go to bed 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now on the weekends, I'm up till the sun comes up. But I listen to fucking phone calls, bro. And it took me almost an entire month to listen from the very first call to the very last call, and it was fucking torture. Now, because you got to realize, I had no clue what was on these tapes. I had listened to them. This was almost like me having a front row seat to a life that I lived. But at the time, you got to realize I'm living my life. I'm up on roofs, or I'm cooking dinner, or I'm doing dishes, and yes, we're talking, but I'm not absorbing everything he's saying at all times, of course. Yeah, sometimes I'm, oh yeah, Charlie, yeah, hold on, honey, give me that, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not really paying attention, but it was such an emotional roller coaster ride because now he's gone. And now I'm hearing his voice again. I'm laughing, I'm crying. And bro, this is, I had family members like my sister Rachel, who's probably the closest person to me. She would call and go, "Oh my God, you're still listening to those calls?" I'm like, "I know, there's a lot of them." She's like, "Oh my God." My girl would come in from work and I'd be on the fucking kitchen floor smoking a cigarette, and fucking crying. And she'd go, "Baby, why are you fucking doing this to yourself? I got to know what's on these tapes, babe."
Yeah.
I didn't know if I had something.
So you're not even getting other people to listen to them for you.
No one heard a fucking the first. So here's what when
you're going through all of these by yourself. You're literally going
by myself, and I'm taking notes. So I got a notepad. So I number them like call. Each call has a code. The digital recorders give it a code. So I didn't want to alter nothing because I was afraid I was going to delete something. So I just left the code. So their number like DM42110. And at the end of my calls, it was like, okay, that was Charlie. Today's Friday, December 31st, 2016 at 11:34 p.m. I was meticulous, because I knew that once I'm gone, once Charlie's gone, these calls are going to go on in life.
Yeah.
Like I don't want, but see, it's hard for me because I get emotional.
I'm sure.
The thing is this, right? When it was all said and done, right, and I was done listening to all the calls, I realized something I had never seen before, and that was just how much this fucking man cared about me, right? Like I realized, like, this man continues to change my life and touch me long after he's gone. He's been gone since 2017. Yeah. I owe it to him to sit here and listen to every single call. I owe it to him to fucking at least try to let the world know who he really was. Not what Bugliosi wants you to know, or what fucking Stephen K. or Sharon, I'm not sure, excuse me. God bless Sharon Tate. Gypsy or Diane Lake wants you to fucking think, because these people knew him 56 years ago for what, a summer or a year. In passing, not at all. I don't think Bugliosi knew Manson at all outside of what he was fucking weaving under behind the curtains.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the man, the human being, the friend, the grandfather, the father, the son. I got to know a side of him, and after listening to these calls and looking at the Manson I used to know, I realized, holy fuck, like I have the real him.
Yeah.
I have what no one else has shown me, and I think I've seen every film on Manson. I have something different here. and I have something special in the sense that it's the vulnerable Manson. It's the Manson who's being a friend to another man, a Manson that doesn't have a microphone in his fucking face, or a doctor with a notepad analyzing him. You know, it's someone that he considered an equal, someone that he looked at. So it's like he has no reason to lie to me.
Yeah.
He's not, has no. So anyway, and then with certain things that he had admitted to me and shared with me, and then it just, my girl even said it. She's like, babe, you have to do this. You have to let these people, you have to trust, because I trusted nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah, you ain't getting a fucking single minute of my phone calls. That's why over the years, unlike
you never had them out. That's why you never
people,
put them out. Right?
I never put them out, right?
Yeah,
because
that's what I mean.
That's not why I'm here. I don't want your attention. I don't need to be known as Manson's best buddy. It's like I was a friend. That's it. Yeah. I was just a friend to him.
So did you have how much input, or did you have any input? Did you just...
So here, that's what I was just going to tell you. So we ended up having a meeting. All right, are you done? I'm like, I'm done. They were like, God damn that time. I'm like, I know, but it took me a month. But I've listened to them all. And guys, what I have here is spectacular. And they were like, oh, like they were drooling. Like there's like 6 of them on Zoom meeting, and they're all like, okay, so what are you? So, bro, I had them, and I knew it. I knew that you're gonna do things the way I want, or not at all.
Good,
right?
Good.
So I said to them, here's what I have. Here's what I want, because they asked me, like, what would you, if you had control, what would you want? And I told them what I wanted, and then I made them. When we agreed to do I said, okay, I'm in. Once I said I'm in, then things just started moving so fast. Like they started sending me contracts and this and that. And then it came down to me having to send them the tapes. And bro, that was so hard to do. So I started to back out. Like, all right, I don't think I want it. Then they started to play. Then they started playing with me.
So you had second thoughts afterwards, even you.
Bro, all the way to the end.
Oh,
all the way till I let go of the package at FedEx. I was like, oh no. Yeah, bro. It was that bad, man. Okay. Brian, you gotta understand, bro. You know, I have been lied to. Like this funeral documentary, especially. Such a bad taste, because bro, they were like National Enquirer bad. They were. That was just the worst. And Tawna knows, she was there. So it's like the thing is, this is when we, before I let go of the fucking tapes, the contracts had to be signed. So my main concern, and unlike it's being put out there, like I just did this all for money. That's bullshit, bro. Because I could have sold these tapes for a lot more money than I got for doing this show. So the thing for me is I do not, and it's in my contract, the helter-skelter narrative will not be perpetuated.
Oh, wow.
That's part of my contract. And they agreed to it.
Way to go.
So now they're like, okay, now we got to find a director, and we'll send you whoever we decide. Like, let's say we're going to pick 3. This is what they said. We're going to pick 3 names. We're going to send you the 3 names, and you tell us who you feel comfortable with. And I'm like, fuck.
So at that point, it wasn't even Billy yet?
No, Billy wasn't in the picture yet.
So Billy Manson wasn't even selected yet. Wow, that's interesting.
No. So once the contracts were signed and everything was agreed upon, and I mailed them the tapes, I think Billy was in the picture at that point, but because that's how long I held out, bro. I was like, you fuckers ain't getting these tapes until I know for sure what's going on.
That's funny.
So they were like, okay, we found a director. And I was like, okay, what's his name? And they were like, well, here we got 2, and we want you to look at both. Okay. And I go, and I made it was a joke, but I go, as long as his name's not Buddy Day, I said, I'm fine with it. They laughed, right? They were like, no. So they sent me, I forget the first guy's name, but then they sent me Billy Mintz. Okay. And I'm like, I've never heard of Billy Mintz. I'm like, so I did my research, and he did a film where he exposed the corruption in Nevada of elder abuse.
Oh, I saw that one.
Everything Billy touched was exposing lies. Billy just stood out to me.
Okay.
Billy Mintz. So they were like, so what? How do you feel about the guy Billy Mintz we sent you? I was like, I fucking love it, man. I just, there's something about this guy. They were like, good, because that's who we picked. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Okay.
They're like,
good.
well, we need you to meet with him. I said, okay, that's fine. And when I met with Billy, Billy is, bro, there's not enough good words for that man.
You hit it off
check this out,
right? You hit it off
immediately. So listen to this. So Billy says to me, if you got anything that you think I should know, I want you to send it to me, no matter how little you might think it is. So I sent him this thing one time because we were looking for Danny DiCarlo because they wanted Danny DiCarlo to be a part of this, right? So I go, I don't know where he is, man. Last I heard he was in LA, then I heard he was in Hawaii. I go, but there's a film out there on YouTube of a guy who claims to have ran into him. He goes, can you send me that? I go, yeah. So I sent it to him. And Billy calls me up. He's like, JJ, where did you get this tape? I go, YouTube. He goes, oh, yeah, I see it. He goes, I went to school with this kid. I go, excuse me?
Huh.
He goes, this guy in the fucking, that ran into Danny. I go, yeah. He goes, I went to film school with him. He committed suicide. He's dead.
Oh, shit.
I go, Billy, he goes, not only did I know him, he was my roommate. I go, Billy, shut up. So these weird signs started popping up.
Right.
Like, come on, what are the odds of that, bro?
Yeah.
Or, so anyway, long story short, once Billy was on board and I felt more secure, like I started to trust them more. Because Billy, I can just tell by questions that are being asked which direction they're going to take the film.
Yes.
And every question Billy asked was wanting to expose Bugliosi.
Okay. I was going to go in that direction next.
Bro. Billy.
Once you've got like 200,000, or I'm just using a number. Once you've got like a bunch of phone calls set up at random, like you've got to organize this and decide what direction you're going to put this in, right?
Oh, so, I would not want Billy's job, bro.
Yeah.
That poor guy. So, and, I'm not going to say who shared it with me, but, I was told after it aired and not too long ago that they were they were trying to go the Helter Skelter route, and it was Billy Mintz who stopped that from happening.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah. Billy Mintz stopped that from happening. If I guess you have to really be familiar with the case to see what was really going on in that film. Like, for instance, Gypsy admitting that her and Charlie, supposedly, drove to Doris Day's house looking for Terry because Manson thought Terry lived with Doris Day. Well, wait a minute. Didn't Bugliosi say that you two drove to 10050 Cielo looking for Terry because Terry, right? So little things like that where Gypsy put her foot in her mouth.
Well, I thought there's so many.
There's so many
little
so
things
many,
I thought
that's sealed in stone now. That now is there forever, and that was my goal. No matter what, if I could, and I went into this with this mindset. When I found out Diane Lake was going to be part of it and Gypsy was going to be, bro, I was fucking pissed because it's like, here we go, two of the biggest fucking, fucking lion sacks of shit on the planet Earth.
Didn't Diane say something like, and she's still saying Leslie was burning the rope the night of the LaBianca murders? I think.
She burned a bag of coins. How do you burn a bag?
Well, here's the problem with that, though. That's not how that worked. And if you pick it apart, you can clearly see that didn't happen that same night. But
a lot of things that she said didn't happen.
If you listen to that police interview, right, you can hear them tell her what happened. They will tell her what happened.
And that's why, if you notice, Billy chose to end the. I don't know if Billy chose this but I know Billy fucking filmed it and Billy made it of her going, I just want to know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge, bro.
No,
they end the series with her saying she doesn't know the truth and wants to know what the truth is. To me, that is so telling. Like, wait a minute. Didn't you just write a book telling us the truth?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, that's right. You didn't write that book. Someone else did. But your name's on it.
I think it's just from her perspective, I guess. I don't know. I've never.
I never read it. I don't read that shit.
I've never taken her for any, like, I've always looked at her as damaged goods. and I've
and you know what? After watching that documentary, bro, there's a huge part. I feel sorry for her. Man.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't feel bad.
She seems like such a nice lady. Like she really does.
I don't hate her.
She's genuine, bro. She's genuine. I can tell.
No hate for her at all.
No, me neither. I did. I'll be honest with you. Until this documentary, Billy really changed that in me. And losing my dad not too long ago, a few weeks ago, that I've lost a lot of anger that I used to carry in my heart.
Okay.
And I watched my dad. I get that from him. My father was like that. My father carried a lot of animosity and anger. If you piss my father off, bro, he wouldn't sleep until he got even with you. And I think that's how I get it. But the thing was, I realized by losing my father that life, and I remember Charlie used to say to me, man, why do you care what these people say about me, man? Stop letting that shit get to you. If I don't care, you shouldn't. And I'm like, no, fuck that. That's a lie. That's why. And he'd be like, listen, you got to relax. Like every hour that you live with hatred or anger in your heart is an hour you just robbed of yourself of living. You can't live with anger and hate in your heart. And I realized that. And it's hard, especially after, when I watched the documentary.
I don't necessarily mind the hate and stuff, but it has to be appropriate for me. I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
I feel okay.
We all need a little hatred sometimes.
I just say that I don't like. I like to hate when it's appropriate, but like I get what you're saying.
But
what I'm saying is, I always try to now look at it. Billy Mintz taught me something. Is you got to look at it from a different point of view every once in a while. Like I can't just say okay and just I hate her because of this. Well, what about I don't know. Maybe she's gone through something I don't know, or maybe.
Well, here's what I know she's been through. I know that the cops got a hold of her. They put her in a.
Yossi got a hold of her.
Yeah, they put her in a psych center. Okay. They basically threatened her with the death penalty if she didn't say what they wanted her to say.
Yep,
I mean, they basically put the proverbial mind fuck on Diane.
That's right.
And I've never held her responsible for that. And at the same time,
especially what was she, 14?
Maybe probably a little older than that. But the point I'm making is I've never held her responsible. But at the same time, I've never taken anything from her to use as my research or any credit. I've never given her credibility, okay? Because I just think she's damaged goods, and she's not going to add anything beneficial to this research of this case. So, and again, at the same time, I don't have any ill will toward her at all. I actually, like you do, John, I feel sorry for her that they got to, that they were able to do what they did.
Right.
And I think the blame should be placed where it should be, and that's squarely on her fucking parents.
Yeah.
Nobody ever does that. Nobody ever says, hey, Diane, what about your parents? Or not even to her, but just in general, why don't they ever point the finger at her parents? But I digress. I just that's my take on Diane Lake. I don't think that the night that she claims that they were burning rope and coins, I don't think that's the same night. Because let's just put an end to this real quick. Like if it was the same night, I pose the question to you out there, if this was the same night, where did Leslie get the purse to burn? Where did she get the rope to burn? And where did she get the coins? They didn't take any of that from the LaBianca's house.
Right. And another one, bro, that I'd like to also point out is how she talks about Katie and Stephanie Schramm fled for their lives. It's wait a minute. Didn't Kitty return the next night? Wait. And then Manson made them all leave and go and brush off the tire tracks, to hide. It's like, what are you gonna walk fucking miles?
A lot of this, John, is simply just applying some critical thinking to the situations, and you'll see a lot of it just couldn't have been the way it went down.
Tex held out the headlines, slapped the paper, and said to her, "I did this. Yeah, Charlie told me to." That's a fucking lie.
I know. A lot of the dialogue I question. Let me ask you something though about this documentary, because one of the things that got a lot of press, John, by the way, we're talking to John Michael Jones. He is featured in the documentary Making Manson. If you've just caught that on the Peacock Network, you probably just watched some great stuff there. As far as some new clips and new comments from people that haven't been heard from in a while, if not at all. But let me ask you, one of the things that grabbed a lot of headlines, John, was this this quote of Charlie leaving bodies on the beaches in Mexico, in Acapulco, right?
Yeah.
And talk about that, because a lot of people, and even myself, I kind of questioned that for a little bit, because tell me if I'm wrong or right about this. A lot of things Charlie will say and do is for shock value, maybe, or just to fuck with people, or just for whatever. Like, they may not even be true, right? He'll make some stuff up sometimes. Am I right?
Oh yeah, all the time. But
Okay,
that wasn't one of the cases, though.
well, that's what I'm asking. That's what I want to get to here. So
yeah, that generally happened.
You're talking to him about these murders in Mexico. So I'm
they weren't murders. See, he didn't say. He just said, I left some dead bodies on the beach.
Okay, take us through that. Clarify this. What is this about?
All right.
Tell us
I can only tell you what he told me. I don't know if there's any truth to it. I'm just repeating what he said. And he's gone now, and there's no harm. Like, I'm not hurting. And that's why I never shared this before, because it can't be proven at this fucking point how many years have passed. But here's what happened. He was out drinking, and he met this lady, and he really liked her, and they hit it off. And he started fucking around with her. And he noticed some bruises on her. And he asked her, like, what's up with these bruises or something? And she told him about how her husband, because she was married, would beat her. He was real abusive. And Charlie was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, like, whatever. And one night, long story short, they were fucking around, and the old man came home and caught him. And one thing led to another, and she took Charlie's gun and shot this motherfucker.
Wow.
Shot him right in front of Charlie. And Charlie was like, oh my God.
It was Charlie's gun?
It was Charlie's gun.
Okay.
It was an old fucking gun that he had.
Okay.
And Charlie fucking freaked out, and he's like, what the fuck? And not long before that, I should start off by saying, another time, he was, I don't know what he was doing on the beach, but it was at night. He was down at the beach. I don't know if it was in Acapulco. He didn't say what part of Mexico this happened in, by the way.
Okay.
I don't think. I'd have to re-listen to the call. But he said that these guys asked him for a cigarette, and he told them, I don't have one. And then the other guy asked him for a light. And he's like, wait a minute, this motherfucker just asked me for a cigarette. Now this motherfucker is asking me for a light. It's like something's up here, right? He's like, my defenses went up. Long story short, they tried to rob him.
Okay.
They fucking pull out knives. One guy pulled out a gun. Next thing you know, they're going through his fucking they're roughing him up.
Yeah.
And he fucking shot one. And boom, and shot him right in the chest, and fucking took off. Now whether or not someone died, he doesn't know, but he knows that the motherfucker was still laying there.
That's why he uses the language particularly that he left bodies.
Now, just check this out. That he ran straight to the bar that he was known to go to, the one he met this lady at. And the night, now, not long after that is when the lady shot her husband. Now he's got two bodies on this one gun, and he's got to get rid of the gun. He's like, I got to get rid of this fucking thing. And he does. And not even within an hour after ditching the gun, he gets arrested. So this is maybe a way to trace where he was, because he got arrested, and he's in this Mexican jail thinking, I got to get the fuck out of here before they find these bodies. That was his goal, is to get the fuck out. And the sheriff or the whoever came in and opened the cell and told him to get the fuck out of Mexico and don't you ever come back. And he's like, bye.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So that's what he meant by leaving bodies on it. And I kind of had it out.
Do you know what he got arrested for, to be pulled in for that?
No, I don't know. I think it was drunk and disorderly or some stupid shit.
Right. Just to get him in there. Yeah,
and he didn't have a passport or something. I forget what. And they couldn't prove who he was. He gave a fake name. And the guy says, I know you gave me a fake name, motherfucker. He's like, you ain't fooling me, fucking gringo. But all he wanted was just to get the fuck out of Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he got himself in some shit that he didn't. It just seemed like a pattern for Charlie to always find himself in the middle of shit he didn't fucking mean to get himself into.
Dude, there's an interview out there that he did with some radio guys a few, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago. And they asked him point blank, like, what were you doing in Mexico? And he goes, I was running from Florida. And I just thought that sounds legit. That checks out, right?
I was listening to a call not too long ago, bro. I got to share this real quick. I'm not going to say who he was talking to somebody, and the guy goes, yeah, and the motherfucker thought he was Clint Eastwood. He's pulling out it. And Charlie goes, well, what's wrong with Clint Eastwood? I fucking started pissing myself. I like Clint Eastwood, actually.
That's great, dude. That's funny.
Well,
that's interesting. And so then, as far as you're concerned, those stories were true as far as the leaving the bodies on the beach there.
Oh yeah, very true. And wow, I forgot about that. And it wasn't until I got an email like, hi John, my name is Fuck Me Off, and I'm from NBC fucking Peacock, and we're just writing you because you are part of the series that we're about to air November 19th, and the commercials will begin on fucking in 2 days on October 22nd. October 22nd is my girl's birthday, and November 19th is the anniversary of Charlie's death. So I'm like, wait a minute, is this like a coincidence that you fuckers picked the 19th to air this thing on?
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm just like, whoa. So I waited, and when I saw I'm like, because usually being a huge part of the show, there would be no show without my calls. You would think that they would have let me seen this before it aired.
Yes.
Nope. But the fact that they made me wait, I was like, oh, so I had no idea what I was about to see, bro.
No kidding. Okay.
And then when I saw that commercial,
I was going to ask you that.
Talks about leaving dead bodies on the beach. I was like, oh, here we fucking go.
Yeah.
So that was the first time you had gotten
I went through the roof.
Right? Yeah.
I called Billy. I'm like, you fucking betrayed me. You fucking. He's like, whoa, relax. Whoa. He's like, I was like, man, you fucking these fuckers lied to me, Billy.
So that trailer was the first time you had seen the actual.
That was it. That was all I ever saw.
The finished product.
So Billy kind of calmed me down. Billy has a way of calming me down. Billy's like, listen, man, you can't judge a 3-hour film on a minute 30-second clip, bro. He's like, of course they're gonna show. They're trying to get views, man. I'm like, oh, all right. And he's like, listen, trust me. He's like, do you trust me? I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like,
dude, you kind of did the same thing with me. You remember I was going off on you a little bit. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, bro, you were like, bro, just give it a chance, bro. Because I was like, John, remember when he's like the bodies on the beach line, right? I was like, John, what is this? Too. Well, I didn't go off, but I did. I was like, John, what is this fucking shit? And
no, you called me up, dude. I did. Were fucking pissed. So I was like, same thing with you. He did. That's where I got that from Billy. I was like, oh, hold on.
Because you were calming me down the same way. You're like, dude, don't just give it a chance, dude. Just give it a chance. I was like, all right.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I was like, I think I literally made myself sick worrying. So you got to remember, like October 11th. I got a phone call from my sister. She was hysterical, saying that my father passed away. And I couldn't understand her. And of course, I was a mess. And I'm like, all right, calm down, Rachel. And she's like, he's gone. So long story short, I'm like, give me the number and I'll call it, find out what happened. His wife's number, my stepmother. So she gave me the number and I called my stepmother to find out what happened. And during the time of my sister telling me and me calling, they revived him, but I hadn't known. So long story short, my dad had just had a heart attack, was brought back to life, was on life support, like barely clinging to life. I'm being told that the film's being released. So I'm going through all this shit, bro. Like in my personal life, now I got to worry after seeing this fucking commercial. Now I'm being betrayed all over again. Like I literally got sick. Like, I couldn't move. It was the worst case of the flu I think I'd ever had in my life. And for a week, I just laid in bed like dying, and
Mhm.
my body couldn't take no more. And I just felt like
Yeah,
I had just given up.
I
And
bet.
then a week after the series aired, my father died. So he passed away, and so I was dealing with that, which I still am.
I
And
would think so. Yeah, I would think you are.
but after watching the series, I have to admit I was so pleased. Could have done better. I can't, I can't fucking, I can't
That well,
shit
that was,
on it.
no, that was kind of my next, kind of my next question was like, after all said and done, and of course, when you were
I
recording
had to
these phone
watch it
calls,
twice before I could.
okay, of course,
I,
when you were recording these phone calls, you had no clue that it was going to go anywhere near this
oh
big. Or
hell no, hell
so
no.
after it's all said and done, at the end of the day, I guess are you happy with the outcome of this?
Yeah, I really am, and I'm going to tell you why. Because maybe people don't see it the way I see it. Because I follow this case not just because Charlie was a friend of mine and someone that I loved, but because, like you, Brian, it has nothing to do with my personal feeling towards Manson. Like you're not particularly his biggest fan, but you don't let that interfere with it's exposing Bugliosi. It's
That's my
exposing
whole.
the corruption
That,
in this
that's been
case.
that's been my angle from the very start.
That that
You know,
has to be
yeah,
addressed. That
that's
has to be talked about.
I don't see how
And
it can go forward without that. I don't know how you can push this forward without it.
right. And Billy made sure that that was brought up in this documentary. And I think Billy did. And I don't know if it was done intentionally, if it was deliberate or not, but Billy did a wonderful job making these people look fucking stupid. They
Uh-huh.
look
He
foolish.
really
For
did.
once, it was the other
Yeah.
way around. You know how they always make us, any supporters of Charlie's or the truth, they made us look stupid? Well, this time the roles were reversed. They all looked absolutely ridiculous, especially Stephen K.
Yes.
And the thing is at the end of the day, you got to let go of this ego shit. Well, Charlie was my friend. Well, Charlie was my friend. No, Charlie was my best friend. Charlie, who gives a fuck, man?
Well,
Like
that's
we're
what
all
I'm
in
saying.
this. We should
Right.
all be in this together for the same cause, and that is to shine light on the injustice of this case. Period. Period. At the end
Mhm.
of the day, that's to me, that was the goal. I mean, yeah, the goal of releasing these
Yeah.
tapes
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
I want the people to hear the Manson I heard when I revisited these calls. There was a man that was adamant about one thing, and that is I did not do this. I
Yeah.
was framed. Bugliosi fucking, like, if you listen to the calls, which will be, look, what people heard in that 3 hours is not even a
Right.
fraction
I
of what
bet.
I have.
I bet.
And it's important, and it's going to happen because to prove everyone wrong that thinks that I'm just doing this for money, like it has nothing to do with money because I'm about to release them all.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
free for the world to have and to
Yeah.
hear.
There you go.
Because the bottom line is this, is if you could hear the Manson in these calls, you're going to go, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. We were wrong. There's no denying it. And I
Well,
think Billy.
there is it's funny you say that. There is a part in that documentary that you're in, the making Manson. I guess, and this is another, I got to give Billy Mintz some more credit here. He because I've done that. I went through this myself with the parent family. I talked to a couple of the parent siblings way early on when I was starting this program, and I didn't talk to Greg though. Apparently, that's who Billy talked to. Greg. I talked with, I can't remember the oldest brother is who I talked to. So I thought that was interesting that he got Greg Parent on there, and if you look, Charlie said something in one of those calls. I think, am I wrong here? Greg said, what did he say? Something like he went with it or something, didn't he, Tawna? He kind of like agreed with him a little bit.
If there was more information about whether or not Charlie was guilty, he thinks that him and the rest of the victims' families should be able to read it or see it, read it, hear it, know it.
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting sound bite there from Stephen Parent's brother. Okay. I mean, this is kind of cool stuff that he was able to pull out here. Billy Manson.
I like that part of the victims' families. I do think they need to know.
I do too. And but by the end of it, I think if you went back, and this is something Charlie does all the time, he kind of shoots himself in the proverbial foot. And this is where people don't know. If you haven't followed this case, or Charlie in particular, for years and watched the interviews and his everything about him, you would know this. But he says things a lot of times just out of spite or for whatever weird reason that he doesn't mean. And I think Stephen Parent's brother heard him say something later on in the documentary where he kind of backtracked. Then, do you know what I'm talking about, Tawna? You've seen that part.
Where he back? Can you say that again? I couldn't.
Yes, I lost that.
Stephen Parent's brother was going to believe, hey, maybe Charlie's telling the truth, and we need to find this out. Then he heard Charlie say something else later on, and he's like, well, wait a minute now. Maybe he fucking did have something to do with it. See what I mean?
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah, because Charlie has a way of shooting himself in the foot every time he gains a fucking inch or two. He'll say something dumb, and people that don't know Charlie any better will think,
it was at the very end, and it was the recording where Charlie said that Tex didn't do anything wrong.
That he was like, I was all for it, or something like that. Remember, he was like, I'm all for it, or something like that.
Well, it was just saying that he didn't do anything wrong. It was in the very last part of the third episode.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm just saying, there's a lot of times Charlie will say some things, and it'll fucking set him back another two, like one step forward, two steps back.
But like you said too, a lot of times he said things, whether it to be shock value.
Well, that's what I mean.
He said things. He said things because that's what's being said. But if you remember in the documentary, there's a call where I asked him, Charlie, can I ask you something? And he says, "Sure, man, sure, anything." Yeah. I said that night that Tex went and did what he did, and he told you what he was. Did he tell you what he was going to do? Did you know what he was leaving to go do? And Charlie said it flat out. I had no idea what was in that motherfucker's head.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I know that it had nothing to do with me.
Right.
I didn't tell him to do anything.
Here's the thing,
what, bro. I don't believe him.
I do too, but I don't even know if it was his. I don't even know if it was. All right. I don't know how to say this. I'm still under the impression now that it's the girls who started this shit with the whole copycat.
Let me tell you what happened. You want me to explain
ranch?
To you?
Okay.
I'm going to share it with you, and I've never shared this with anybody.
Okay, I think they suckered Tex into the deal. Is what they did.
Let me tell you what happened. What happened was when Bobby called from jail, Spawn Ranch. Who answered the phone?
I believe it was Linda.
It was Linda Kasabian.
Yeah.
Linda Kasabian is the one. Now, this is, once again, I can only tell you what Charlie said to me. Do you know it all began with a fucking show? Some television show or some fucking thing that the girls watched where somebody committed a copycat crime to get a loved one out of jail. It was Linda Kasabian who had the idea, the brainchild of this whole copycat murder was Linda Kasabian. Because, see, Linda went, I think it was to Sadie. Sadie went to another girl. They went to Tex, and Tex went to Charlie. That's how it all said. The night that Charlie packed his shit, and he even said it in the documentary, there was a level of fear, remember? He said, yes. There was a level of fear. This was no act. This was no movie. This was real. This was happening. What he's not being told is Manson packed his shit and was getting ready to fucking leave. And it was Lynette.
That stopped him.
Who stopped him and said, aren't you the one that said that we were all one? Like we all
I've heard that actually.
And Lynette stopped him from leaving. And
I've heard that.
This is a theory of mine is why Lynette stayed so loyal to him over the years, because maybe I'm wrong. I did this to him. If I had just let him leave that night, none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
Listen, even I forget which one said it. One of those two, whether it be Gypsy or Diane, said Charlie was the one that was always cleaning up everyone's mess.
Gypsy said that.
And it's true.
Yeah.
Let's look at the facts. Forget about he said, she said. Let's look at what we know happened.
Uh-huh.
Every single time Tex fucked up, Charlie had to clean up his fucking mess.
That's
Every
right.
time Charlie said, Tex, stop fucking doing meth. Well, back then it was called speed. Stop doing speed. Tex, fuck you, and did it anyway. Tex, stop robbing drug. Tex fucking did it anyway. Tex, go fix this shit. This guy's calling the ranch, threatening to kill us and burn the ranch down. Go fucking face this shit. No, fuck you. Manson had to do it.
Yeah.
So where's the leader in that?
Right.
So it seems like every time someone made a fucking mess, they called Charlie. Bobby made a mess with fucking Heyman. Who'd he call? Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, Charlie was the one taking the blame for everything. He took the blame for it all.
Even when
down the line.
Even when they got over there, right? And they got into the jam where Gary got the gun, and who'd they call? Charlie. For him to come over there with the sword.
And what they're not telling people is who the fuck put the knife in Bobby's hand. Danny fucking DiCarlo did. Who's the one that fucking goddamn told Bobby, you go get our fucking money back or we're going to kill you? The Straight Satan's and Danny DiCarlo did.
Yeah. Didn't Danny drive him over there?
Danny dropped him off. And here's the thing. Manson took the rap for it all.
Yeah. All right.
It's crazy, bro.
All right. So, yeah, man, that's wow. It is, John. It doesn't matter how long you follow this stuff, man. When you start thinking about this and then rethinking it and going back over the same stuff, it never gets you know, like normal. Like you just don't like, oh, okay, yeah, just another day. It's always shocking to a degree. Always like, wow, you still find yourself shaking your head, going, wow, that shit really happened. And you're right. That's exactly how it went down.
You know what's something, bro, that I can't stop thinking about is I look at Charlie's life all the way up to the last fucking day he took his last breath. It seemed to me like from the days on the ranch, everyone had their own little group. Bobby had his girls, Tex had his girls, Clem had his girls, Charlie had his girls. They all little cliques, little groups that just surrounded Manson and seemed to vie for his attention. And who, you know, it's no different than you got Grey Wolf and Star over here. You got Derek and his girl over there.
Yeah,
you got
modern day. Yeah, modern day.
Like nothing changed. It was all the same shit.
Yeah.
And it's that shit that fucking goddamn destroyed his life.
Let me say too, I don't know if people ever put this in perspective enough either, but the whole time, this whole thing, this whole saga only goes for a couple of years, dude. It's not like this thing went on for years. It's
not even 2.
Right, not even 2. And they were even
2.
And even on the time it spawned, they were in and out there a couple of times. They get kicked off, they come back. And they get kicked off, come back. And they go down the road and live in that house down the road. They come back. I mean, it's like it was in and out. None of this was like really that long of a window to begin with.
Right. You know something else too that really baffles me is that why is it out of all the people that lived on that ranch, let's just separate the girls from the boys for a minute. Let's say all the girls, because there were more girls than guys.
Yeah.
Let's say that they're out of all the girls that surrounded Manson on that ranch, why is it that Diane and fucking Gypsy are the only 2 out here spewing this fucking bullshit?
I don't know.
And you got Lynette, you got Sandy, you got Happy, you got this one, you got that one, and of course you got your Mary Bruners and your other ones that stay out of the limelight, that stay quiet.
I think honestly, I think Cappy would have said some stuff, but she passed away. But I think she would have said something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was all the way up to the end. She was as loyal to Charlie as can be.
These other girls, I think you're right. These others, I don't know why they're not stepping out and saying some stuff, speaking out a little bit about
this. They probably want to move on with their lives and put it all behind them. But the bottom line is like, let's just take all the fucking goddamn smoke and mirrors away for a moment. Let's look at one thing that nobody can deny. Why can't anyone raise their hand and go, wait a minute, Charlie, you did say go fucking kill those people. We were standing behind the fucking shed. You were wearing a blue shirt on the fucking... Not one person can say they heard Charlie order a fucking thing except for the man who did the murders.
And same with trial. He's convicted and they never said he did anything. Ever.
Never. Not one. Like Charlie said in the documentary, not one of those fucking people that got on that stand told them to do a goddamn thing.
That's right. That is true. We've often said that.
Where the fuck is this coming from?
Yeah, we've repeated this many times. I mean, we've said this many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so look, gotta keep repeating it.
So I know everybody thinks probably like, we'll be on like an hour and some now. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to still talk about this documentary a little bit, but we're going to shift gears a little bit, if I may, because
go for it, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, if you watch some of the reaction around this community, and I use that word loosely, if you watched any of the reaction to this documentary from people around this community, it's been really weird, some of it.
That's putting it fucking mild.
Well, it really is. And that's why. Well, that's another reason. Well, that's another reason. I'm glad you're joining us here tonight, John Michael, because I thought maybe, this would give an opportunity to clarify some of these things that certain people are saying and put a little perspective on this. And then we're going to hear what Charlie really thinks of certain people that are saying things, because that's really what it comes down to. I mean, you can bullshit and pose and front all you want to, but at the end of the day, it's out there. It's there. What Manson might have thought of this person or their friendship or whatever it is.
Right. So, or lack thereof.
I just want to get into first. Let's just talk about some of the I guess the points that have been made. We're talking about, and I know most people know who this is because he's in the what would you say, the running? I don't even know. He's in the running of the estate. So we're talking
Michael Channels. That's what you're talking about.
Channels. Yes, we're talking about Michael Channels. Yeah. He's one of the. And for those of you that don't know, we've got an update on the next hearing for this estate. It's going to happen on February the 21st, I believe, or 22nd. I'll see if I can get a definite on that here in a second. But there's going to be an upcoming hearing, and what's going to happen is now they're going to have a kind of like a mini trial, a mini hearing, and see if Daniel Arguelles, I don't want to butcher his name, Arguelles. They're going to see if Daniel, and I'm not trying to butcher his name. They're going to see if Daniel is going to be eligible for the estate when they had the hearing on that. Okay, so they were going to have a couple of hearings this day. They were going to have first of all, they're going to have a hearing to determine, because as everybody knows, Michael Channels has thrown his hat into this a long time ago with this will that he's got that, quite frankly, I'm not an expert, but it looks phony as a $3 bill to me.
Yeah, it is.
But what do I know?
This guy's.
I just want to say, they were going to have a hearing on February 22nd or 21st. They were going to have a hearing to see if that will is legit or not. So they don't even know if the will is legit. They're going to have a hearing on that. But instead of doing that now, as I understand in this article, they're going to, let me see if I can pull it up here even. They're going to determine if Daniel is
still in the running. Is still in the running for the estate.
He's legit in the running on this, right? That's going to be the next hearing. And then I guess they're going to finally address this will and see if Mike Channels is going to be excluded or not. So that's who we're talking about here. Mike Channels, who's got he's almost got, like, other than the reason that you're sided with Jason Freeman, like, why do you think, because let's be honest, Mike Channels made a series of videos about this documentary, Making Manson, and in it, he got real personal against you for some reason, John Michael.
Yeah, bizarre. I don't even know this fucking guy. It's just bizarre to me. But you know what, bro? I've been around Charlie for so long. Channels is one of fucking countless fruitcakes that just crawl out of the woodwork and just become like, I don't know. I don't know what's in this guy's head. You know what I mean? Like, I can't answer that. I personally don't watch his videos. I haven't watched what he had to say. People they keep sending me, hey man, this guy's talking shit about it. It's like, I get that all the time, bro. I do.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's only making a fool out of himself. That, to me, it's like, it's as clear as day. Like, something about this documentary he's butthurt about, but I don't know. All I know is what the old man told me about him over the years, and the shit he put Charlie through. And that's why I personally disliked them back in 2013 and all the way up to Charlie's dying day.
Yeah.
This guy was just a thorn in Charlie's side, you know, and it was like Charlie. Now I can see why after what he's fucking doing, you know, with this shit. It seems to me like he's an attention whore.
Yeah, well, we watched this a couple of times, Tawna and myself, and in this particular video that he does about you, he comes off like, I don't know what else to say, a jealous little bitch.
Like a scorned ex-girlfriend, like I cheated on him or something.
Yes, unreal, dude. How
you want to know the fucking thing is I've never shook this guy's hand. I don't know this guy from a crack in the wall. You know, wow. I know that he's just some bizarre guy. He's almost like a animated. He's so animated, like, and he talks like, cause you know, I've got friends and family that watched it and, you know, and told me things that he was saying, but you know, like I could care less, because truthfully, bro, like this guy's, for me, it's like he's just looking for my attention, and I don't know why. You know, I don't know
we'll give him a little attention tonight, because I want to clarify all this bullshit that he spewed out of his fucking mouth, drooling mouth. Because, dude, it was, even I listened, I was like, this is complete bullshit.
You know, it's really odd.
Crybaby little bit, like, what a jealous little bitch, dude.
Yeah, bro. And you know what's bizarre to me?
Fuck up, dude.
Is he's talking about making a cult follower as he's standing in front of a fucking shrine of.
No, I was going to get into this, dude. He's literally talking about you being a cult follower, like a cult following. And you're right. The hypocrisy is dripping wet. That he's sitting there in front of his little Manson shrine in his basement or garage, wherever the fuck he's at, and he's going to call you some cult follower. What a joke! Let
me give some context here. Like,
unreal.
Let me explain. Just, I can only tell you what I know, and this guy channels would come in and out of Charlie's life, like throughout the years, right? I think from like maybe the early 2000s, like that far back.
Yeah, I know.
He would always come in and out of Charlie's life, but every time he did it, he brought drama. Like now I can see why Charlie kept him at a distance, because it's like there's something really bizarre with this guy, that everything that he does is like he's got to run to YouTube with it. Like he's seeking some attention, some. And
let me tell you, John,
he's looking for validation or what, but everything out of his mouth is a lie.
And it's not just you. Like, I've seen him do this, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, or maybe whatever, maybe a little
with Star and Grey Wolf. Yes, he attacked them.
Yes, and
anybody that's close to Charlie, he attacks them.
Yes, he went completely all in on Star and Grey Wolf, right? Because he was in the same, they were in the same spot that he I guess he wishes he was in. I don't know. I came upon this guy years ago, back when I first started the program back in 11 or whenever. And all I know is, like, I didn't understand the appeal to the guy, but he was posting Charlie's phone calls that he would call in the prison on his YouTube channel. Okay. So people were listening to it, of course, at that time. But as the years went on, the guy got completely, like, fucked in the head or something. I don't know what happened to him, but he came up one year. I guess it was around the 2014 mark or something. It was one of the years there around 2014 where he came on the night of the anniversary of the murders up at Cielo. Him and Boner were doing a show, and the stupid motherfucker sat out there and said, Brian Davis, somebody should kill him. And I thought, where the fuck did that come from? See? So ever since then, I just thought the guy was a complete fucking fruitcake, like you said, and I couldn't care two shits about the guy and go fuck him. And then he's talking shit not long ago. He's sitting, this is what the fucking douchebag is doing. He's sitting on the grave of George Spahn, talking shit about everybody in the community there. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this weirdo? So,
you know what's bizarre is he's got to be damn near 65 years. I mean, isn't he like in his 60s?
Oh, I would think so. I would think so.
And to be acting like this, like, doesn't he have a wife and kids and a life to live?
I can't imagine, you know, like this has been at least as long as I've known about him. This is what he's like. He's taking no breaks, right? He's like he just dives into this shit deeper. Do you remember there was a time, you probably remember this a few years back, he was carrying around some fucking bones that he found and claiming they were Shorty's bones.
Yes.
Remember that bullshit?
Yes.
I mean, this guy is a fucking Fruit Loop, dude.
I read an article once of a guy that after Charlie died and Michael Channels came out of the fucking hole that he was in and claimed to be Charlie's best friend who was left this will. And the guy interviewed him, and the guy said it was the creepiest thing he's ever experienced. Like he was led into this dark room, and Channels is like sitting in the corner of this dark room, like it's like this image he's trying to create of himself.
Yeah,
and
dude.
if you look at him, he's just the lumpy fucking loser in life that has no fucking clue how stupid he looks.
It's so weird, like, dude.
And to sit there and say, like, someone said to me, he made a claim that I was thrown out of every university I've ever attended. Motherfucker, I've never spent 1 millisecond in a high school, let alone a fucking university.
Well, that's what I mean. He's saying all
the
this
streets.
Stuff. Well, we caught some of this. This video that he put out, and dude, he was talking some of this crazy shit about you that there's no way he would have known, and so therefore he's lying about you.
Oh yeah, everything.
What about the one part he made? I don't know if anybody put this. I guess this part that he says. I don't know if everybody sent you the clip where he says, "Oh, I'm probably on some of those tapes." Durr.
Oh yeah, you sure are, but not in the way you fucking think.
I know, dude. He's sitting there talking about I'm on those tapes. Like you can tell he's like this jealous little scorned bitch.
Yeah, but here's the thing, bro. He's not on these fucking tapes. I know. Why would I record this fucking fruitcake? You know, like my girlfriend was watching it, right? And I could hear him because my girl's probably listening. She was like, I was like, look, I don't want to hear that shit. She's like, all right, then walk away. So as I'm walking away, I could hear him going, and what he did was he faced one phone this way and one phone that way. And Charlie and I were talking and he recorded the whole thing. It's like, hey, dumb fuck. How could you talk to Charlie if I put two phones? Why would I have two phones? You think about this. You're in California. Charlie's in California. I'm in Boston. And I call you to put a phone call for Charlie. So why would I be holding two phones together? You dumb fuck. Like that's how this level of thinking, right? No,
he is.
This guy's he's delusional.
I'm not even playing. He's one of the biggest dumb fucks of the.
Oh, bro, it's almost. I feel stupid talking about it.
I know.
Then he says, "I do it for money." As he's sitting there with back porch tape, selling fucking T-shirts and coffee cups and toothbrushes.
I know.
And you know what the sad part is think about this for a moment. This guy is so fucking obviously butthurt for whatever reason is beyond my wildest imagination because, Brian, I've never met this guy, bro.
Right.
I don't know who this guy is from a crack in the wall.
He's trying to say like you two. I know. He's trying to put out there that he knows you or like.
No, the first time I ever met John Michael was never. You fucking whack job. What the fuck are you smoking, dude?
Delusional motherfucker.
But see now that I'm seeing this side of him, right? And I see why Charlie was the way he was with this guy. Because Charlie was just as baffled as I was. But there was occasionally Channels would come around, and every time he would come around, by the time he got fucking booted out and Charlie kicked him to the curb, there was always this drama. It was always he was fighting with somebody or attacking Star and Grey Wolf and attacking this one and that one. And it's like anyone remotely close to Manson, this guy just has to destroy their reputation and slander their names. And in fact, it's like, brother, nobody in the fucking world was even thinking of you until you fucking opened your mouth.
Yeah, no,
like,
I know.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah. I think that's what's wrong with these freaks, man. They don't have another life at all. Literally nothing.
No, you're right. And I was told in the beginning, like the PR guy, he said to me, you need to grow thick skin because you are going to be attacked. And I knew it going into this. But here's the thing.
Look who you're being. Here's what you got to look at. You always got to look at who you're being attacked by.
Yes, I was just going to go there.
These fucking douchebags are so stupid. and they try to suck off everybody else. They have no, they can't do anything on their own. They have, like, Mike Channel steals people's shit and then puts his watermark on. Okay.
Can
like,
I just say this? Can I just say this? Let me just say this, right? And this is my, if you really care about Charlie, right? Channels has been around on and off, give and take since the early 2000s, but he would disappear for 10 years and then he would show up for a year or two and then disappear for 3 years and show up. But let's just say this, right? If you genuinely cared about Charlie the way that you claim you do and that you're his friend, why wouldn't you be pleased with what I just did? Right? And saying, well, let me put my feelings aside. I don't care what I personally may think of John Michael, but every time John Michael gets in front of a camera, he's fucking defending Manson. He's trying to humanize Manson. He's trying to prove that Bugliosi is a scumbag. John Michael is doing everything that needs to be done to fucking make Charles Manson the human being he was. He's not out here perpetuating, look at every time Channels has been in front of a camera. All he does is carry on. He feeds the myth. He feeds the very image that destroyed Manson.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It's like, so let's see who's who here. Let's let the facts and the evidence, not the words. Let's not let the words, because words mean nothing in life. Your actions is what proves who you are inside. So he's got a forged will. What kind of human fucking sack of shit scum would ever forge a will and try to steal another man's grandfather's estate out from underneath him? Knowing goddamn good and well deep down in your heart. And I know he's probably going to listen to this show if he's not listening now.
He'll get
Take a look in the mirror, Michael Channels, and deep down in your heart that fucking will is a fake. Yeah. And you know how I know? Because back in 2009, Ben Gorecki called me and said that you showed him that will and that you tried to convince Ben Gorecki that the fucking will was legit. And Ben called me and said, hey, man, I saw it, but he told me not to say nothing. And I said, well, wait a minute. If it's legit, why would I not have to say anything? Why hide it? And then you come out now that Charlie's gone and say, oh, I forgot I had the will. I didn't even know I forgot until I ran it. I'm just trying to fulfill his last wishes. Really dumb fuck. You knew that fucking will existed. You showed Ben Gorecki the will. I knew about the will in 2009. I got Manson on tape fucking laughing and saying that will's a fucking fake, just like you are.
Which
the lawyers have. Yes, the lawyers have that call. The lawyers also have handwriting experts that they're going to fucking prove that Manson's signature lies underneath where the typewriter comes down and leaves the ink.
Yes.
The ink is on top of Manson's signature.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Michael Channel's dumb fuck. Michael Channel signed that will and dated it 4 days before the date of the will. That's how fucking dumb he is. See, he doesn't realize this, and I'm saying it because it's too late. He's already submitted the will. He's already committed the crime. Yes. Michael Channels is so desperate for attention that he has just committed a felony for not realizing that he's going to be fucking probably brought up on charges and convicted for fraud and forgery. Yeah, I also submitted the receipt that Michael Chan, which I've submitted to you. If you want to show it on your show, you're more than fucking welcome to.
You know what? I'm going to try to.
The judges have the judge. I mean, the lawyers have it. The judge has it. They all have every bit of evidence that I've gathered to prove that Michael Channels is a fucking fraud.
This is just a matter of this getting in front of the judge. That's all this is.
Yeah, I think it's already been submitted to the judge. They definitely have it.
It's just a matter of having the hearing.
Right.
You just got to have the hearing.
And here's another thing that Channel, this is how smart he is. When Charlie passed away, he did a radio interview, which is recorded, where he admits that he knows that this will is not going to go far, but he's just doing it because it adds value to the will, and it also gives him content for a book that he plans to write. This dumb fuck went on a fucking radio show and admitted that.
Yeah, imagine that.
I don't know if it was a podcast or what it was, but it's been recorded and they have it.
Yeah.
So, he's about to get buried, and that's fine. And I'm wondering if he found this out, and that's why the motive behind this. He's using this Manson documentary.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and this is no offense against Jason, right? Because, people have this misconception that Jason and I are best buds, and we're not.
Yeah.
We're not. Matter of fact, I haven't talked to Jason in over a year. But here's the thing. My only fucking thing coming forward and trying to is to stop Michael Channels from getting, because here's the thing. I spoke to Manson about Channels, I'm going to say 5 times in 20 years. So if you want to say that that's a lot, then you got a pretty fucking miserable, lonely life. But each conversation, as you'll hear tonight, because I gave you one of the calls.
Yeah, we can already play
This is what you're going to hear. You're going to hear what Channels really did to Manson. He just did nothing but upset him and cause him fucking heartache. And like Charlie says in this call tonight, look, I allowed him to I let him do the shit because I can't stop him.
Yeah.
But he sold me out all the way down the line.
Yeah.
And that's why Channels has no one to thank but his fucking self that he couldn't do a documentary like I did, because I remained loyal to Charlie.
Yeah.
I didn't run to fucking YouTube with our phone calls. I didn't give a fuck. My sister Rachel will tell you, because Rachel's been there and my girlfriend Elsie will tell you, I turn down more interviews than I do. Matter of fact, Brian, your show is the first interview I've done, and I probably ever will do about this fucking documentary.
Thank you, John.
I won't do any. I don't want to do them because why? No one's ever fair. People don't care.
And you've never been in this for those reasons, man. I know
exactly. I'm not in it for money. I'm not in it for attention.
You're not in it for attention, money, or any of that, dude. I know.
I'm everything that this guy pretends to be. And I think what happens is, but in this documentary, Charlie says, John Jones, in my 80 years, you're the only man that's never did me wrong. And Channels probably was like, oh my God, I fucking hate this guy. I'm going to do a video and say that he was thrown out of university and that he's a loser.
Cult follower, man.
Fuck John. Fucking Danny Partridge. No one's fucking trying to fucking steal your fucking sunshine. I could give a fuck less. You should be more worried about going to a barber shop than what the fuck I'm doing in Boston, you moron.
I don't know, dude. He looks like he needs an abortion or something to me. I don't know.
He looks like he is an abortion.
I'm just saying, dude.
Look at him.
Looks like an abortion that survived. He lived. All right, so look, we got this since this fucking clown thinks he's the best buddy of Charlie, and I'm the one that, because that's exactly what he comes off of. Nobody knows Charlie except me. I'm the Charlie Manson expert, friend, buddy, pen pal. I'm the one that's got the fucking bogus, like that's what he's coming out like. Everybody else is, you're all jokes, and I'm the only rightful one to Charlie Manson's estate and Charlie Manson period. And that's what these guys want. Him and the clown Nick Schreck or what's it, Barry Dubbins or whatever the fuck his fucking name is. That's all they want. They want to be the ones to have the narrative on Charlie Manson. Not even so much the case itself, but Charles Manson in particular. That's what they want. They want to be able to control that narrative. And anybody else that tries, you're going to be made a video about or something. I don't know. But the hypocrisy is what gets me. He's literally standing there in his shrine, all right, with his merch store links to his merch store, talking about you like you're some cult following, making money off this shit. Go fuck yourself, you ugly fat slob, Mike Channels, okay? Fuck you, you goofball, you clown. And now we're gonna listen to a phone call that John Michael has provided us. And this is a call between John Michael and Charles Manson. And Manson's gonna tell you exactly what he thinks of Mike Channels here. This guy that supposedly was his best pal. I'm the real best pal. I'm the real pen pal. I'm Michael Channels. You fucking
before
idiot.
You play that, I want to let it be known, right? I'm giving you the lightest of them, because if the cocksucker keeps his shit up, I'm going to release them more.
We've got more.
I've got 4 other ones where Charlie, because I said 5 times where Charlie. See, unlike Channels wants the world to think that I recorded his call. No. But here's the thing. Here's what I have recorded. Everything you've ever done to Manson. And the fucking harm and the fucking goddamn pain that you brought to his life, because he trusted him at one time. He thought Channels was a buddy. I mean,
He
You know,
did.
and then to be betrayed the way that Channels has betrayed him, I get it, man. But it's just, for me, it's about the merch store. It's about, that's why if you notice, everything Channels touches is that one fucking picture he took with Charlie back in 2000 fucking whatever, 2002.
God,
it's on everything, bro. It's on T-shirts. It's on coffee cups. It's that one picture. And listen to what Charlie. Listen to what Charlie says in that call.
It's literally the only picture that he's got.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it, bro.
I mean, and it's like you said, it's like 30 years old. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
And
all right, let's do this. Let's play this call.
If you notice, he's got the same fucking hairdo. You know what I'm saying? The same fucking stupid hairdo.
But he looks a lot different.
Set this up a little bit. Like, when is this call, John? Do you know the date?
I've got this one you're about to listen to is May of 2013.
Okay, May 2013.
Now I've got another one where he forgets Channel's name. Which, you know, I can play that later, but you know, he doesn't even remember Channel's who the fuck he was. This was in 16.
We're going to hear Manson pretty much, you know, be sarcastic here. He's going to be kind of, you know, pissed off a little bit. What is he mad at exactly? What is going on here to where Charlie's telling you?
Okay, yeah, let me give you a little context before you start it. Yeah. What happened was, Channels, from what I heard, sent Charlie a bunch of stuff to sign and send back to him, and Charlie had a bad habit of, I don't even know if consider it bad, but he had a habit of accidentally sending the wrong shit to the wrong person. But the guy was suffering the early stages of dementia. He was fucking, you know, I mean, my God, he was pushing 80 years old. And you got to keep in mind, Manson got more mail on a daily basis than most inmates got in a year. Like, so Charlie would get shit confused. Yeah. And from what I heard, Charlie accidentally sent this shit to the wrong person, and it set Channels off, and that's what started the bullshit, right? So I guess starring Grey Wolf.
Let me ask you this: was this merchandise, or do you know what this was?
I don't know exactly what it was, but it could have been shit like autographs.
Yeah, stuff that Mike Channels, Mike Channels would have made money off of. But he's pissed now because he probably can't make no money because Charlie fucked up.
No, I just don't know how true but this is what I know is true beyond a reasonable doubt, because you're going to hear it for yourself.
Okay.
Is that Channels directed his anger because once Charlie kicked him to the curb, like he's doing to me now, he directed his anger to starring Grey Wolf.
Yes.
And he started making videos attacking starring Grey Wolf.
Yep.
And he started sending them threats.
Okay.
And so I stepped in, like I always did. Whenever someone fucking hurt Charlie, I just tasted blood. So I told Charlie, and you'll hear it in this call, you want me to call him? Like Charlie knew what that meant. Like, let me fucking take care of this, right?
Step in, yes, right.
And Charlie, you will hear, says, "Fucking go ahead, do your thing," right? But here's the thing, is that Star is like 5'2". This poor girl, like, and you got 6 foot fucking dumb fucking mook.
Oh yeah, he's
threatening her. Yeah. You know, so it upset Charlie. That's why Charlie's like, this guy's bothering my friends. Like he's attacking my friends.
Yes.
Like he's not including Channels in that fucking equation, because Channel wasn't a friend. He was the enemy, and you'll hear it in this fucking phone call.
Well, and he's the one doing the attacking.
See, he's the one doing the attacking. And Charlie is fucking hurt by it. Like,
he's pissed by it. Yeah, he's pissed
Charlie had to, and as you can say in this thing, Charlie had this saying, "You can't steal from me. I'll give you everything I got."
Yeah. Remember now too. This is back. Charlie and Star are starting to get. They're together or getting together at this point, right? They're starting to get together.
Yeah. No, they are together because
they've already been together, right?
13. Star controlled Charlie's money.
Exactly.
Because Charlie wasn't allowed to have a certain amount in his account at one time.
Right.
Because
he had to have somebody on the outside. He had to have somebody on the outside that he could trust.
Trusted Star. And listen, no matter what you think of Star, and there's times where I haven't been her biggest fan, but the one thing that no one can take away is that man loved her.
Yeah.
And it's not a matter of what I thought about her. It's I
think she had his best interest at heart. Do you?
Until Vince Gallo came in the picture. But
Okay.
that's for a different show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, there's
we
no
got-
doubt in my mind that Star loved Charlie and Charlie loved her.
Okay.
Matter of fact, her leaving him is just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Is what caused Charlie to lose
Gotcha.
energy enough to fight this cancer.
Right. Gotcha.
Charlie was done. Losing her killed
It devastated. It devastated.
It
him.
devastated. I know. He told me. I got it recorded, and I'll
Amazing.
never release it. It's
Okay,
too
so
heartbreaking.
let's listen to this phone call then. And here's Charlie talking about his good old buddy, the good old pen pal.
His best bud. Here comes his best bud.
His bud. Here he comes.
Scumbag.
Mikey won't eat it. Mikey hates everything. Mikey Channels. Hey, Mikey. Mikey Channels.
This
Mikey
is how much. This is how much he. This is how good of a friend he is.
Yeah. Hi, Mikey Channels. You pig face fucktard. Here you go. Here's Charlie Manson talking about Mikey Channels.
Thank you for using Global Link.
Hello.
What's up, motherfucker?
If your God raised me up and taught me to be truthful and honorable, would you respect that?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's why I respect Italians.
Hell yeah.
I've been respecting that. That's what I try to tell Vince. All you got to do is ask me and I'll tell you the truth. All this bullshit that they're playing with your mind has got nothing to do with you and me. Because I'm straight here with God, man.
Right on, brother.
So, Michael Chalmers wants to come and visit.
Wow.
And he uses his paisan to come in, you dig?
Yeah.
Put him on a visit list. You ask me, why don't you let me visit, you dig?
Yeah.
Here's one of the reasons. Here's one of the reasons I can't break my defenses down. See, he's threatening to go over there and stop my money. My money, Star. Star taking care of my money for me.
Yeah.
She's not lying. If she was lying, I would know it. Grey Wolf is watching Star for me. Grey Wolf is like, he's been all the way down from death row, man. He was 20 years old at the ranch, and Red always treated him right. He treated us right back. Okay?
Right on.
I think he's French or something. I'm not sure what he is. I never questioned him. You dig?
Yeah.
But the paisan is a different thing, you know. Like, he doesn't got to be anywhere to be in. He's automatically in, right on. The mighty right on, in the barbershop.
Hell yeah.
You know, the Barbara Seville, the Pagliacci, all that, you know. So, and now he's causing all kinds of trouble. And Ben raises his hand and says, well, Michael's sorry, he's talking bad about everybody. He's causing trouble. And he's accusing everybody of lying and of taking from me. They can't take from me. I give them everything I got.
Right on, brother.
It's like someone says some John is taking your money. John.
This call and your telephone number will be recorded and monitored.
I just want to pause real quick, John Michael. Right there, you can hear him say, you can't take nothing from me. I give you everything I got.
Give everything I got. But did you hear when you notice where he says this guy does nothing but start trouble?
Yeah.
This guy he's nothing but trouble. He's causing me nothing but trouble.
Yeah, so he's already coming out with it right there from the gate.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Just a thorn in my fucking side. But anyway, my best buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, let's continue.
It gets better. Trust me.
John can have everything I got, including my life. It's all his, man. I pledge it to him. Yeah, I give it to him. I put my hand on the Bible and say, it's yours, God. You dig?
Love that attitude.
Miracle of grace. You know, Jesus is Lord. I'm not in the Orient. I'm not dealing hashish out of Lebanon. I'm dealing cocaine out of straight up, whatever,
Fuck yeah.
In other words, I'm true in mine. So that's all I'm asking. You don't have to lie to me.
Right on.
So Ben says that Channel says that he'll answer a call. so he can explain to me what's the problem, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be picking on my friends, you dig?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I let you in, and you started lying, you made a lot of money, you called a back porch, and you kept my music, you did, you know, you sold me all the way down the line. I said, well, it's all right, it's you. You know, you can do that, you know.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want if you're a paisan, man. If you're a paisano, you know, whatever you want. I'm just your servant, man. You know, I'm your brother, man. I'm not your fucking enemy.
Yeah.
So what are you doing that shit to me for? You got all my friends all riled up. They got guns. They're out there practicing. You know, they go to target practice once a month. He shows up. He's going to, you know, what am I going to do?
That's right.
Back in death row, get accused for a bunch of bullshit I didn't do again.
Yep.
How many times I got to go through the same goddamn configuration of horse shit for somebody else's confusion? Can't they have no life of their own?
Right on,
They got
brother.
to keep bragging and getting and pucking and tucking and junking up on my soul as if they're a part of something I'm doing. Then I'm not into what he's doing. He's doing what he's doing to himself. It's got nothing to do with me.
That's right.
You know, I mind my business. I don't fuck around and cheat and lie and fake and talk behind people's backs. I'm right on straight with what I'm doing, or I'm not doing it at all, man.
That's right.
It's easy for me to do nothing, you know. So, see, now you see why I kind of used you when I sent you all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're a soldier, man. I know soldiers are once a soldier, always a soldier, man.
You know what I think? Can I tell you what I think, for real, from the heart?
Come on, I would. Yeah,
I think it's really, and I mean this too, it's nice to finally see you put your wants before other people's. You don't want to take visitors, or you don't want something, fuck anyone that wants to argue that. They should respect you for what you feel. And whatever you say should be word, and that's the bottom line. End of story. And I'm glad you're sticking to your guns.
Now that comes right back to you.
Right on.
That's exactly what I feel towards you. But now when I let Channels into the room, he comes in the room, pretends like he's a great guy and a wonderful person. I said, well, all right, you know, I'm not the judge. You know, I'm not condemning you or complaining about what you do. It's just your business. But why you got to do it to me? I'm the one that let you in, soldier.
Right on.
I'm the one that gave you my heart, man. I'm the one that looked out for you. Look, when no one wanted you and everybody threw you down the road, I'm the guy that picked you up. So why the fuck you bring it back to me like I'm a weak motherfucker?
Right on.
So let me tell you what I got for it. I got a barbershop in Cleveland. I'm from Ohio, dog.
Yep.
I'm from the drums, bro. I'm from the motherfucking world trail. I'm from George Washington. And Abraham Lincoln ain't shit in my dream.
Right on.
You know, I'm Jesus Christ's friend. Jesus Christ, my brother. And my father is God. Just like I'm the son of, everything I can get to be is what my Father who art in heaven. I'll be thy motherfucking name. Thy kingdom come. Thy motherfucking will be done on earth as it is in heaven. There ain't no doubt in that. There ain't no bullshit in that. If the motherfucker can't get on the line and stay and do what he's supposed to do and lie and cheat back over on me, he's only doing it to himself, dang dog. I got the mirror at the end of the road. I'm going to put it up and call Cleveland. I'm going to tell Cleveland, you dig?
Yeah.
Go to the barbershop, put this name on a $1 bill, and make sure you tip the barber in the 6th chair.
Right on.
It's not like I don't know the numbers, the tick-tock. There we go in the rock and roll rockets and the roll on the soul. All the way to Florida. That's Reverend.
And you talking to the barber Kennedy. Now.
Yeah, I know the soldier. That's
barber and the butcher.
Yes, sir. I understand you. About 40 pounds.
Fuck him,
I know what C4 is.
He better not be upsetting you,
C4
man.
C4 love, man. My brother Barber died. Bulldog Lad's daughter just died, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he had hepatitis for a long time.
Oh my God, man! I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So,
did you talk to Channels?
What you call? No, he won't answer the damn phone.
Oh, you know what's happening? Ben told me that Channels. See, when they switched that new phone service over, Your phone number doesn't come up as Corcoran no more. For some reason, it comes, and even on my phone, it comes up as Houston.
No. We went through all that.
Okay.
We went through all that. I'm telling you straight up.
Okay, John, I got to stop this for a moment because even right there, you're trying to even in that moment,
devil's advocate.
Yes. You're trying to give benefit of doubt even in that.
Let me tell you why, bro. Can I just because I just got a little emotional listening to that, and I'm going to tell you why.
I'm going to say Manson's not having none of it. He's not having
it. Here's what it. I know him well enough to know it takes a lot to get Charlie that upset, right? Charlie's the kind of guy you couldn't break his mood. Like Charlie was a very positive, upbeat. Every day is a good day. Every day we're alive, breathing air was a good day. So to get him that upset, I could tell he was upset, and I hate hearing him like. Even now, I just got emotional listening to the to the pain and the hurt in him, and of course I'm playing devil's advocate, not to fucking defend Channels. I'm trying to make sure that Charlie doesn't get hurt. Like I don't want him hurt. I don't want him worrying. I don't want him stressed because he's fighting cancer at this stage.
Yeah.
Like and he was just diagnosed with the early stages of dementia. So my goal is to calm him down, to keep him calm,
So that's why you're asking. That's why you're asking. You want me to call him? You want me to call him?
Me to call? Hey, let me want me to handle. That was my way of saying you want me to handle this shit, right? So I tried to. Then I decided, okay, let me call Channels and figure out what the fuck is going on. And I called Channels before I put, because I didn't just patch Charlie through. I called Channels. Now, mind you, when I called him, I don't know this guy. I still don't. But I know what he's doing to Charlie. I know the bullshit.
I could tell you didn't know him. You were calling him by his last name, even like Channel. You want me to call Channels? You weren't like, hey, you want me to call Michael? Right. You weren't doing that.
No, I know, because it's like, for me, it's like,
you didn't know the guy.
I don't know him. And for me, I'm smart enough to know there's always three sides to a story. His, hers, and the truth. Right. So I never try to judge anyone right out the gate, because I
got to tell you, John, he sounds very, he's very into it right here. Like he's very aware, very coherent. He's
hurt, because let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because he was fucking angry because he let this guy in, and despite against his better judgment, like he said, he's making all this money on this back porch. Like he sold me, his exact words, he sold me out all the way down the line.
He said that. That's what he just said. Yes, exactly.
Because Charlie knew those kind of people. They've come in and out of his life.
Sure.
For decades.
All the time.
Yeah. It's people that come, they want to make a little money. They fucking start a little fucking back porch tapes, fucking YouTube channel, and they got they're selling coffee mugs and t-shirts and this. They're a little merch store, and yet Charlie's sitting there needing stamps, or Charlie needs this or needs that. And it's like, whatever, man. I've seen it a million times. I never judge Channels for that, man. Do your thing. Knock yourself out. I don't know. You maybe got a fucking family to feed. He's got a kid to support. I don't know.
So it's okay.
My goal, listen, I stay in my own lane until you start fucking upsetting him. That's if you started upsetting him, that's when you fucking heard my name. That's when you knew who I was. And for me, it was like, Channels, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I forget his excuse. And I said, listen, just talk to him.
So right here, you're even trying to give him benefit of doubt. Like, maybe it's not what you think, man. Maybe the call didn't come.
You see how quick he shut me up? Now, don't go there, JJ. He shut me off right away.
That's what I'm laughing at. That's why I stopped. I said, he's not having any of that. Right.
He stopped me right away. Don't even try it.
Okay. I was like, let's press on. Let's continue.
I'm telling you straight up. Channels is jacking Ben off.
Yeah, I figured that. I knew that.
Channels is jacking Ben off. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, hey, stop. Ready? Listen.
Yeah.
Channels in his little video was just trashing on Ben, calling him Richie Rich, a man with money, a man with this, a man with. You can say what you want about Ben, but I'm gonna tell you, back in those days, Ben was doing right by Charlie. Ben was always the first one to say, "Hey, let me help you pay for that. You want to buy a guitar for him? Let me pay half."
Okay.
I never questioned listen, Ben Gorecki. Listen, called me in 2009 And Ben, if you're listening to this, man, I hope you have the courage to step forward and admit that this is true.
Yeah.
Ben called me in 2009. He says, hey, man, I need to talk to you. What's up? I'm in California, and I'm at this guy, Mike Channel's house. Now, back then, I didn't know Channels that well at all.
At all. Even.
You know, I didn't know his name even. I knew the name Channels. I didn't know Michael Channels. Anyway,
I hadn't really heard of him.
So he says to me, do you know that Charlie left him everything? And I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what do you mean he left him everything? He goes, he showed me a will, bro. I go, he showed you a will? He said, yeah, it was signed by Charlie. Like, I seen it. I held it. He showed it to me. I said, nah, it ain't really. Charlie didn't leave him. He goes, listen, bro. But listen, he asked me not to say nothing, so don't say nothing. So I'm like, wait a minute. If this is such a legit fucking will, why in the fucking world would I not have to say anything? So I knew right away the next fucking phone call, Charlie, I'm fucking saying something. The worst thing you do is tell me to keep something away from Charlie. It ain't happening when it pertains to Charlie, right?
Yeah.
So when Charlie called me, I said, I need to talk to you about something. He says, what's up, soldier? I said, you know this guy, Mike Channels? Who? I said, Mike Channels. The back porch guy? That's how Charlie always referred to him. I said, yeah.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, what about it? I says, he's showing people a will saying that you left him everything. I'm not going to tell you Charlie's response because the lawyers have that. So I don't want to give Channels any defense, right?
Yeah.
So Charlie addressed that. Now, I forgot about that call. I forgot about all of this until he came forward with this will years later. And I said, wait a minute. I remember back in 2009.
Yeah, right. You remember back.
Ben Gorecki saw that will, talked about that will, said he held that will in 2009. But when Channels did the interview addressing the will, he said that he just happened to find it, forgot all about it, that he was just trying to fulfill Manson's last wishes. Really, dumb fuck? You were showing people that will in 2009, telling them to not say anything.
Yeah.
You know why he didn't want him to say anything? Because he knew that one day he was going to come forward. But see, his goddamn need for attention blinds him to the fact he's committing fucking felonies. It's called fraud and forgery.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't do that. Why do you think Ben dropped his whole will? Matthew Roberts. He knew better. I'm not fucking. Call Ben what you want, but one thing he's not is stupid.
Well, I don't know about
Ben
that.
knew. I'm not. Yeah. Well, he was smart enough to withdraw that will.
Yeah, that's true. That's
because the minute you file it with the courts, it's now you sealed the deal.
Now
you're
in.
done.
Yeah, now
you
you're
just
in.
committed a felony.
Yeah, right. All right, let's go back to this. Let's listen more. Let's listen to some more of this phone call. Charles Manson talking to John Michael Jones here, our guest tonight on the Tate LaBianca radio program, Making Manson. And this is, of course, Charlie talking about this pen pal who's trying to hustle the estate from everybody with this bogus will. But here's Charlie talking about this guy, Mike Channels.
Jacking Channels off. They're jacking each other off. Talking shit. They ain't jacking me off. If they're jacking me off, they'd be over there giving you some head.
Hey, fuck that, man. Unless he got dentures that come out.
People do what they think they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing. They got no idea what the devil is.
Yeah.
They read a book and they think there's a devil.
This call and your telephone number will be recorded and monitored.
Jesus got the book. Jesus got mercy. The devil ain't got no mercy. If they ain't showing no mercy, they're only talking to themselves in the mirror, man.
Right on.
They got the devil. The devil's right inside them, and it ain't got nothing to do with me, baby. I'm just a motherfucking bug on the floor, man.
That's right.
Oh, I'm the always and always. I'll never die, never live.
That's right, brother. Hey, can I ask you, would it upset you if I call Channels?
Not at all. Yeah, tell him, say you won't answer his call, you'll answer mine.
Right on.
If you don't answer mine, I'll come to California. If you want to go to Wolf, I'll be over with your dog, you dig?
Right on.
In other words, stay off that guy. He didn't do nothing to you.
That's right.
He's not done a damn thing to you. He never lied to you. He never cheated you. He never beat you. You want to write and tell somebody something and then lie to yourself. And then come back and say you want to accuse my people of doing something.
Right on.
My people ain't doing what he's saying. I ask them from the heart to heart, and they say, no, we're not doing that. You dig?
Right.
They're not doing it. If they ain't doing it, if they were doing it, they'd say, yeah, we're doing it. You know, there's no reason to lie to do it.
Right on.
And if we are lying, what's that got to do with him anyway?
That's right.
If someone comes and tells me, well, John's lying, I say, well, John doesn't lie if he wants to. First Amendment, so he can do anything he wants. He can say anything he wants, according to my Constitution.
It's funny that
Constitution of the United States. Yeah.
I said that same thing.
Right.
I said the same fucking thing. I was like, let me ask you a question. If fucking Channels has a problem with fucking people over in Corcoran, what's that got to do with Charlie? If he cares about Charlie the way he says he does, then he should shut his mouth like I do, because I may not agree with everything people do, but that's not going to interfere with my relationship with Charlie. As a matter of fact, I show Grey Wolf nothing but respect. You can ask him. When he calls me, I answer. What's up, my friend? That's it.
Grey Wolf ain't done nothing to nobody.
No fucking way.
That little girl didn't do nothing. She comes to a little girl now. She's grown up. She's a woman. She's taking care of business.
That's right.
She's trying to help out. They got a non-profit organization. No jealous motherfucking punk ass goddamn sons are foot rock vacant bomb block.
Yep.
I'm talking about him. You dig what?
Yep.
So I'm talking about him. It's only because he's pushing me to talk about him.
That's right.
He's pushing me to do all kinds of stuff by fucking with my friends. My friends are not fucking with him.
That's right.
My friends are not his problem. He got the world? They're telling him to worry about his atmosphere, his water, and his trees, and his animals, man.
That's right.
Not worried about what my life. And what I'm doing in my life has got nothing to do with his life.
Right on.
I'm not pushing mine over in his dream. You know, I'm not talking about his wife out there with them Negroes.
That's right.
I'm not telling him the truth about what's happening behind his back.
That's right.
He's not obligated to tell me about my business.
That's right.
My business is none of his business.
That's what made no sense to me.
Man.
You too, my brother. I love you, brother.
Yeah, just ask him to give us some slack. We're not threatening him.
I got him.
We don't want to threaten him.
I got it.
Yeah. All right, so.
I'll take it from here, brother.
Peace.
I love
Anything I can do, let me know.
You do it every day. I love you, man.
Every day, huh?
You see that, brother?
Wow.
Right there, brother.
Yeah, boy.
Wow, dude.
That fucking needs no introduction.
That's amazing, John.
Now listen.
Yeah. No, that's
right
the whole
there,
call.
Man.
That
is exactly what this cocksucker continues to do to this day. Put his motherfucking nose where it doesn't motherfucking belong, starting all this fucking shit for no goddamn reason other than to put some attention on himself.
You nailed it.
To me, it's just you make and look what he did. I got a little emotional listening to that halfway through because you know why, bro? I could hear the pain in his voice. As a friend, as someone that loved him, and knowing that he's fighting for his fucking life, you're with fighting cancer and early stages of dementia, fucking got to deal with the guards fucking with his shit and the inmates fucking goddamn fucking fucking with. He's got enough to deal with. And you think that Channels, Mr. fucking best friend, would understand, like, look, I don't need to listen. If I thought, because you know, Brian, I've talked to you. If I thought starring Grey Wolf or fucking robbing the old man, my job is to say, Charlie, I think they're doing this. And if he says, hey, mind your business, it's none of my motherfucking business.
That's what you're going to do.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And as listen, as God is my witness, and my girlfriend's sitting right here and she can vouch for this, my only objective in this entire goddamn thing outside of the first year of my relationship with this man was to just make sure he was okay. Right. That he didn't fucking hurt, that he didn't want for nothing. And if I could make his life fucking just a little bit more easier for the day, I've done my job, man. That's right. Yeah. That's it. Just like you would with any friend.
Absolutely. You can tell in that call. He's definitely stressing out over this bullshit.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's definitely affected by this, right?
And what the reason why is it really shows you, it lays a foundation, it shows a clear picture of the kind of person Michael Channels has always been.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the way he's just a scumbag, bro. There's no other words for it. He's a piece of shit, lying, fucking manipulating scumbag who does nothing but start shit. And for what? for some fucking YouTube clicks?
I know.
Is it really that important, bro? That you're gonna get up there and so you can sell a fucking coffee mug?
I think it's even further than that. I think he just wants to be, like I said before, all of these Manson groupie type of freaks, they come out with these shows and these fucking stupid little podcasts, and they all try to pose as this, oh, we're just trying to get to the truth of the good. And no, you're just a little groupie little fucking butt nugget that's trying to be part of this.
You've been around for a long time. Let me ask you something, Brian. You're pretty familiar with the case. Let me ask you a question.
Come on.
Let me ask you a question. Name one time you've heard channels trying to cast doubt on this case and expose Bugliosi for the lies he's done, or to humanize Manson in any way, shape, or form.
He's actually done the other direction. He's
actually done the opposite.
He's actually sided with the bug half the time. And
exactly.
Bullshit. So
exactly.
This guy's a complete, just a complete phony, a poser, a liar, and a fraud. Like, I'm sick of it. Nick Shrek's the same fucking way.
He's got so many people convinced it's mind-altering that anyone can take this clown serious.
You've got to definitely freaking question anybody that takes this guy for legit. I mean, anybody. In fact, if you come to me with anything and you start this, well, according to what my channel said, like, stop right there. Talk to the fucking hand. You lost me. You lost me at my channel said, okay? Fuck off. Goodbye. That's how it should be. Nobody should.
You know what, bro? That's just one of. I got 4 other ones that go further than that.
Dude, we should do this, John. We should do this every week for the next few weeks. We should.
Bro, say the word. I'll play all fucking 4 of them for you. There's another one that really upset me because it's in my notes where Michael Channel's wife was mailing Charlie fucking pictures of coffins with her hand in the coffin. Jeez. Like as if knowing that this motherfucker's fighting for his life with cancer, and you fucking mailing him, you gotta be. And you can hear Charlie saying, "Man, yeah, he's got a wife," and believe it or not, and according to Charlie, that he said Channels' wife is mailing me pictures of coffins. Like, what the fuck?
Holy shit!
Wow!
Come on, bro, that's some low life dog shit right there. But anyway, that's the next call for next week's episode.
Yeah, let's
make a fucking series of Let's Bury Michael Channels.
Let's do our own audio series here. Would you be willing to share a call each week with us for a couple?
Come on, bro. For you to do anything, bro.
Let's do this, brother. Look, let's do this. I'm not kidding. I think we've got, like you said, we could be scratching the surface here.
Bro, I'm telling you, because you know what? Not only does it show you a little insight into the truth, it's coming straight from the cat's mouth, right? And another thing too is like it really shows that Charlie was human with feelings. He was somebody that had fucking he trusted Channels, and Channels betrayed that trust time and time and time again. And it got to a point where Charlie finally kicked him to the curb. He was gone for fucking 10 years, bro.
That's why you're hearing this butt hurt, this little bitch fest that he's throwing now.
Yeah.
So, dude, I think we should do this. I think we should do this again next week with another call, and we can, just keep rolling with it until we.
Brother.
People are convinced that this guy's a piece of trash, just talking trash.
Yeah, wait till you hear the next one. It gets worse. Oh, it's terrible.
God. All right.
It's terrible.
All right, man. I think we're gonna do it next week. Let's tentatively schedule that for right now. Can we tentatively say this right now?
Yeah, brother. You got me.
All right, my man. You're great, John Michael. Thank you for this.
All right, brother. I gotta go. Colby Covington's fighting soon. I gotta roll. Don't. Yeah, baby.
No, don't spoil nothing, dude. I'm right behind you. In fact, we'll probably talk later, you and I, about the fight.
All right, brother. I'll be around.
John Michael, thank you. We'll talk to you next week. We'll probably, you're the best, brother. Thank you. We'll talk to you next week, I hope. Thank you, John.
Guys.
Talk to you soon.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night. Wow. That was great. That was great.
That was very, very God. I'm so thankful that he did that with us.
This is right off the heels of the most, it's right now, it's the most talked about, docuseries out there right now on the Peacock, Making Manson. And here we got the guy featured in the whole thing right here on the show tonight.
Yeah, and, it's just so, like that first scene of the series, he was so selfless, and then here he is again. He's being more just selfless, putting it out there, not asking for anything, just putting the tapes.
Dude, I don't know if you can at least see or hear the sincerity.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm really grateful for him, letting us have the exclusivity to this, because as he said, a lot of people are contacting him, trying to contact to get them on their own shows. Not even within this community, even outside of the community. There's other podcasts out there.
Yeah.
So
in the great big wide world.
Yeah. So I'm really cool. I'm really grateful for him for giving us the time and of course his opinions on everything about it as well. He's come a long way. John Michael's come a long way as far as understanding the case, because back when he started out, he's talked about this many times, including the documentary. He mentioned how he got into this thing. He didn't, he like most people, they don't really think about the ins and outs of the case itself.
Right.
Especially people that are into Charlie. They don't really think of the case. They waste their time usually glorifying Charlie for whatever lie they've heard. I mean, John Michael was right tonight. Like a lot of people do it, and Channels is one of them that does it. They perpetuate that image that the bug created to begin with.
Absolutely.
That's the problem. So
yeah, well, in his video, he said that Manson went in and tied them up. And like, we were all stupid that, anybody who says that Manson didn't go in there and tie anybody up, well, we're all idiots.
Well, you remember we've again applying that critical thinking I talk about. That's what we were saying, right? Like, there's no way that could have happened.
No.
So
there's no way.
And in the documentary Making Manson, there, I guess Manson revealed that, right? That what he said.
Oh yeah, he brings that up again. Yeah, that he goes in and then he leaves. That Tex followed him from the car.
Tex followed him. Yeah, Tex followed him up there.
Tex said, I'm staying. Charlie's leaving and Tex is staying.
Yeah. There was a couple of it was really overall it was good, but there was a couple of misses I think you could point out. It was kind of, I thought, important. Give us a couple of those, Tawna, that I know you had said, hey, did you notice this? And I was like, oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, they said that when Bobby was arrested, that the knife was just laying in the trunk. They just opened the trunk and the knife that was used at Hinman was just in the trunk.
Yeah.
And we know that was in the
tire well.
The tire well?
Well, the wheel well, tire well, whatever. And I you have to picture the kind of car he was driving, right?
There's something else interesting about that knife, though, is the knife that was found in the car, it didn't have any blood on it. So.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
There would have definitely been some dried blood, you'd have thought.
You would think.
Yeah. Another miss, I think, is that they said, I guess there was no mention anyway, that they didn't mention Clem being in the car or being there the next night.
That's right. Yeah.
I thought that's a huge omission. That's a big deal. Like, I don't know how they missed that.
Yeah. I think it was Linda Deutsch. Is that how you say her name? Deutsch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She was saying in the next night, and she was listing the participants, and there was no Clem in the car.
Yeah, that's a big miss to me. I mean, you shouldn't, I mean, I'm not just calling out. I'm not just trying to call stuff out. I think you got to have that in there. You can't leave that out.
Why was he not culpable? Why was he not culpable, but Manson was? If he was present and left.
Clem?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, good point, Acapella. Acapella says no blood was on that knife, even though the police lied to Bobby and said there was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point, man.
And there was one other thing that caught my attention, and I don't remember which person it was. It was it wasn't a family member or Stimson or anything like that, but somebody else talked about the arrest in the desert, and they made a mention that it was days after the murders, when we know that it was months after the murders. So I noticed all these little things.
No, I'm not laughing at you. You got it. No, you're good. That's a good call. I'm laughing at Acapella's comment right here.
Oh, that's funny.
Organic cotton.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. That's great.
But I got a lot out of hearing this recording with Manson and everything that John Michael had to say about the process of the documentary. I thought that was really interesting.
What do you think about the whole documentary? And like, what do you think you'd give it? Like from 0 to 10, what would you give it? 10 being the best.
Come on now.
No, I mean, it sounds like to me, it looked like it's a pretty good documentary. I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not quite there yet. They're not quite there yet, are they? Nobody's quite gotten it down perfectly yet. But you're right. I think it's a step in the right direction. Would you give it like a 7 or 8? I think I might give it like a 7 or 8.
It was in the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. No, that's good.
And that's all I can say.
JTP gives it a 5. JTP 72 gives it a 5. I think it's about a 7.
Well, if I compare it to the final words, what about compared to the final words?
Well, come on, you can't. My documentary is the absolute best. There's no comparison.
Well, it was definitely better than the.
Well,
we can
have. Hey, look, we can have a close second. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But each one the thing that I like is both of those documentaries, the final words and then this one, it's like a progression now that you could say is sort of happening. And like maybe the next one that comes will be even further. I agree.
If nothing else, I think the one I was in, the final words, set the template for the new direction to go to.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
So that now we don't just hear the official narrative bullshit all the time. And I think more movie makers, more directors, or more whoever does this stuff, they're the producers, whoever, they're seeing this now. And I think you're right. I think this making Manson is another step in that direction that Buddy David's going into.
Yeah, but the problems that happen in the trial are so far and above beyond what anybody is even going to expect. I mean, it's almost every witness. Almost every piece of evidence, there's a problem with all of it. The whole thing is nothing but a load of shit. So
yeah, that's right.
I think we got quite a ways to go before the public is going to actually accept that as the reality.
Yeah, I do too. That's what I've said. I've often said that too. We've got a long way to go before that happens right now. Okay, so
but we're stepping there. We're stepping there.
Yeah. We got to keep in this direction, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So I want to know before we leave here, I mean, if nobody wants to hear it, we won't do it. But if you want to hear
it, do you really need to ask that? Really?
Well, no, I am. I really do. I want to know. I'm not. I've got other things to do too. But I mean, if people think it's worth listening, well, I think it is. First of all, I think it is. But if you guys want to do this again next week, we'll bring another phone call out, and we'll continue to prove this clown wrong. This Mike Channels guy, and we'll listen to some more Manson thoughts. And because I'll tell you, this call that we listened to tonight, that he was really in it. Like Charlie was in it. He was he was there, which is unlike a lot of other calls I've heard. But if you guys want to do this again, we'll do this again next week. And John Michael was gracious. No, he's like, yeah, we'll do it, brother. You just let me know. And I love him for that. Thank you, John Michael. And I would love to take him up on that myself.
I would love to also, of course.
All right. We got a few people. A few people are going, yeah, let's do it. Okay. So that's all I need. I just need one person to say, yeah, we'll do it. I'll do it. I don't care who's, one person, 1,000. As long as I got one person, that's all we need.
Should we make a clause like that is if you and I don't kill each other in between now and then? Or
yeah, let's make a pact that we don't kill each other and you don't take no more shows down. Let's make that pact. Okay. Can we do that?
Oh, maybe. Okay. All right.
You think you can refrain from that? I think we'll be okay.
I think we're all right now.
No, we're great. All right, look, so that's what we're gonna do. Go ahead and count. I guess just go ahead and set it for that. I'll set it up in the meantime, and go ahead and be looking for that next week. Maybe we'll do it another Saturday night. Is this a good night? I guess it's okay, right? Saturday night seems to be a good night here. I like the Saturday night thing.
But don't you feel like Manson is more of a real person now? Like you really get a feeling that he's a real guy, not this.
I've never even doubted that myself, though. I've never really doubted that. I mean, that's not the problem with me, right? It's all this.
And he's got a sense of humor.
Well, yeah, right. To me, it's the idolizing and the glorifying, and not that they're even glorifying him, because they're not. They're glorifying the image that the bug created. That's literally what they're glorifying. And that's what I can't stand. Because, yeah, you could say, oh, it showed a different side of Charlie. Well, really, it didn't. I mean, I've seen this side of Charlie Manson in a lot of the interviews I've watched, much less these phone calls. Now, is it more personal with John Michael in these phone calls? Yeah. It's even more, like you said, it even more shows Charlie Manson as a regular person. And he has feelings like the rest of us. And people are like, so what? He killed. That's the whole point, people. He wasn't involved in the conspiracy. That's the whole point here.
Yeah. And I would definitely be interested in talking to Stephen Parent's brother and telling him the ins and outs of exactly what the actual evidence showed.
Well, you know what? That's the big thing too, right? I mean, it shows that people are still out there willing. We've got people out there, even the victim family members there and the parent brother. He's willing to listen. That's all I need.
That's what I've always
said that. I've always said, Tawna, all I've ever said is all I need are people to listen. I believe people are smart enough. I really do. Most people are smart enough if they just are aware of the information, if they are aware of the misconduct, if they are aware of the transcript material. I don't think they'd have a problem coming over to our side.
No,
but so many people just aren't aware of it yet. And that's the challenge right there.
Yeah, and the story doesn't make any sense. The evidence that it doesn't match these other stories. I mean,
right. There's so much. We go on and on and on, which we,
and my thing is I want the victims' families to know that they weren't just like led off like lambs to the slaughter. Like you hear in a lot of these movies, it's just, oh no, they fought. These people fought.
Yeah.
It just wasn't enough, but they
did.
Fought.
You're right. Especially that Rosemary LaBianca.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or even Stephen Parent, you know he ran. I believe he ran. I believe he was. This was not at the beginning. He ran and he almost made it. He almost made it. I think.
Yeah. I think he did too. He almost did. So, well, all right, man. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll tentatively get ready for this again next week. Probably look at another Saturday night show going on here. I'm kind of okay with it right now. I don't know what's going to happen as far as a permanent thing. I mean, we're working on some things, but we haven't got anything concrete down yet. And
let's take it one show at a time.
Yeah, we'll just do it one at a time. Right now, we're good. We'll set something up for next week and just keep rolling off of that and see how it goes. But thank you, Jeff. It's a date. We're working on the old shows. I promise you guys, we still got them. And that's another good thing. They weren't ever deleted as I thought they might have been.
Nothing is gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing is gone.
All right. We'll get them back up eventually. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. And
yes.
We appreciate it. All right. So our final count tonight on the F meter brought to you by TLB or Gil Hodges, by the way. That's what all those numbers are that you keep saying in the chat all night. That's Gil keeping up with our F meter, our F bomb. So.
Should we say a couple more or?
Yeah, no. I think it's the thing is stopped. 305 is our total tonight. So,
and that's including the ones that Charles Manson contributed also through his video.
Yeah, that includes all. That includes everybody, right?
Everybody.
That includes all of them, right? That includes everybody. So, all right, not a bad return for two people that hated each other about a month ago.
I still hate you.
I love it. I love that we hate each other.
You hate me. It's okay.
Thank you, Robert Brady. Good to have you back in here too. Or if this is your first time, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get on out of here, I guess. And thank you guys and girls. Thank you all you TLBers for coming out. I mean, short notice too, Tawna. We couldn't have asked for a better crowd on such short notice.
I know.
Really happy, and I appreciate all the support for real, sincerely. Thank you guys.
And I didn't get too much. I didn't get too much hate in the chat either. It's amazing.
Not yet. I don't know what they're going to say behind our backs.
Right?
That's all good. We deserve it. I'm sure. It's no problem.
Yeah, I do. It's all right.
But we still love you guys, man. We still do. That's why we're here. All right. Thank you. On behalf of John Michael Jones, thank you again, sir, for coming on. We look forward to next week doing it again. And
awesome.
For Tawna, T-Dog, Laufenberg.
Yes.
I'm Brian Davis, and we will be back next week to do it again on the Tate LaBianca radio program. Thank you all. Have a great week. Good night.
TLB Radio. TLB Radio.